Good evening. I am here. It is 1:02 a.m. on Tuesday, April 28th. It has been a few days, even though it feels a lot longer to me than it has been. It's just really been Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But yeah, I'm back from the bigger one, or the big one. It's called the big one, but it was referred to as the bigger one this year. A New Jersey fur meet that was happening. And yeah, it was a fun weekend. We did some fun stuff. I might go over it in a bit more detail tomorrow. To be honest, there's not a whole lot for me to say. I kind of just chilled most of the weekend. It was still nice to see people. Hey, Kyle. And yeah, I'm here now. I, again, would have liked to have been here a little earlier, especially since I got out of work pretty quickly tonight for a Monday. But, I am still running a little bit behind. This may take 2 nights to finish this quest case. I had one Hot Pocket and now desire more. I had a donut for lunch and I didn't eat again until like 7 hours later. I had White Castle for dinner, which, you know, that's about as nutritious as it is going in as it is coming out of you. But it was good. It was delicious. I very much enjoyed the onion meat. Anyway, tonight we're going to be doing Case 4 of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. This is arguably, I've said this before, this is considered by a lot of people to be the worst case of the entire series. That one case, yeah. I don't know. It's still entertaining, and there are aspects to it that I do like. But yeah, this is definitely not the high point of this game or the series in general. That said, this does have a character that a lot of people simp over, so looking forward to playing this out here. I did fix the PNG tuber after I accidentally deleted it during Vampire Crawlers the other day. By the way, I've been playing a ton of that game. I am addicted to Vampire Crawlers. It is so fun. I have unlocked like 70% of that game, and I haven't even gotten past the 3rd area yet, because it's just so hard. But, yeah, I might play more of that some other time. Tonight, we're about to start. But do I have anything else to mention? No, not really. I might do a ramble proper tomorrow. Tomorrow might be all Tomodachi Life. We'll see. We'll see how a 3-hour stream of that goes. If not 3 hours, then maybe like 2 hours of that, and then an hour of VP Crawlers, if I'm in the mood. But anyway, episode 4 starts now. This is Turnabout Storyteller.
What time is it? It's 9, 10, 11.
Shisho's dead? No, do you think he did it? Oh no. If he did, then what do we do? Hey, pull yourself together. Don't worry, I have an idea. He really likes noodles. Anyway, just a reminder, the series is set in America. May 13th, 9:45 a.m. District Court. The Noodles is Evil. Defendant Lobby number 6. So this is another one of those cases where it's like mid-game, one-day case, kind of like the 4th case in the 3rd game. Except the thing is, in this game, every case has been one day, except for the 2nd case so far. What the heck? Who brings a defendant to his own trial late? Plus, the request was so last minute, I didn't even have a chance to talk with my client. He's late for a very important date. My name is Athena Sykes. They needed to give me a case, so this is why this one's in here. Armed with analytical psychology and a full arsenal of legal know-how, I'm a fully competent defender of the Wright Anything Agency. Though I wish my client would show up already. The trial's about to start. It appears we made it just in time. Where have you been? The trial's about to start, Simon. You needn't get so worked up, Athena. His baldness can wait. There's no way he'd wait for me. And besides, why would I want to start off on the wrong foot with them right out of the gate? Dealing with such matters is part of being a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, well, covering for your lateness isn't. Still but a rank amateur, I see. This is Simon Blackwell. He might not look it, but he's actually a prosecutor and a psychology specialist. He and I go way back. As for our shared specialization in psychology, we're both disciples of the same person, so to speak, but he's my senior, I guess. A twisted sense of humor or not, I wish he'd stop treating me like a child all the time. So where are Wright Dono and Justice Dono? Mr. Wright is abroad, and Apollo is helping Trucy with their magic show. Didn't I tell you? They're what? So neither one of them are here, leaving you to take this on alone? Yep. Ye gods. Call Wright Dono back, it's not too late. Oh no, not too late at all. He would only need to know how to teleport. Very well. Then I will settle for Justice Dono. Go grab him by the horns and drag him here. Apollo's literally in the middle of a show, Simon. You may not want to admit it, but I've got what it takes to take on this case. Just leave this to me and go watch from the gallery. As your defense derails in spectacular fashion. No, as I win the heck out of this trial. I'll be okay, promise. So wipe that look off your face already, will you? Anyway, I take it the guy behind you is... Yes, he's your... He's asleep again. Hey, oi, Bucky, wake up. Gah! Oh, what'd you do that for, Simon? Oh, my PNG tuber froze already. Wow, that's gotta be a record. After I just said I fixed it. Huh? Who's this yellow chickadee? She's your lawyer, such as it were. I'd say she's more green than yellow, however. She's green for an amazing reason. Lawyer, she sure doesn't look like it, does she? Is she like your fellow apprentice or something? Something like that. I've known her for longer than I've known you. You could say we're bound to one another. Why is this not closing? There we go. Okay, well then. Guess I better call her Ms. Chickadee then. Simon, this guy's not only rude, but he's 3 sheets to the wind at his own trial. I know we just met, but I'm about ready to give him a piece of my mind. Do as you will, just save it for after the trial. Miss Chickadee? Don't call me that. How'd you do? Simon here's an old friend of mine. I'm the 4th generation head chef of Wet Soba. Wet Noodle number 4, Bucky Wet. Nice to meet you. It's nice to meet you too, Mr. Wet. So he can pull himself together when he wants to. If only the trial wasn't starting in a few minutes. Having been accused of a murder that only occurred yesterday, I'm afraid it's taken a toll on the poor boy. And you happened to be there at the theater where it all happened too, right? They said they found a Rakugo storyteller murdered in his dressing room. Ah yes, the ancient American tradition of Rakugo storytelling. Indeed. The victim, master storyteller Taifu Tornado, was a longtime patron of Wet Soba. Master Tornado had been looking after Bucky ever since Wet Noodle number 3 passed away. I see, so the victim was kind of like a father to the defendant, huh? That stupid old fart. Like a father? No way, he was always dishing my soba. How dare you speak ill of him? Running your mouth like that is why they suspected you of his murder in the first place. Now pull yourself together. Number 3 must be rolling in his grave. But, Simon... The police, none of them believes it's me. They won't listen to me. Looks like he's still in shock from the whole ordeal. Don't worry, Mr. Wet. Everything's gonna be alright. I'm going to defend you with everything I've got. You're in good hands now. Me? You believe me, ma'am? Of course. No matter what, I'll believe in you to the very end. Gee whiz, Ms. Chickadee. Now come on, I need you to shape up, just like those al dente noodles of yours. Yes, ma'am, my soba is the fresh... Mr. Wet? Ah, Bucky, you great big pillock. So how exactly do you know this guy? I used to frequent Wet Soba, and still do, in fact, so I've known him since I was a lad. That's why his father and Master Tornado were always so good to me. Didn't know you liked soba so much, Simon. I wouldn't expect one such as you, who eats meat slapped between slabs of bread, to understand the delicate taste and subtle textures imparted by buckwheat flour. Hey, that's just rude. But I digress. What is he holding? A bunch of bento boxes, I'm assuming. Or orders of noodles. All about flavor and subtlety and stuff. If I let Wet Soba end like this, I'll never be able to face number 3 or Master Tornado in the next life. I see. And that's why you came to me. You wanted somebody you could trust. It was never my intention to ask you. Huh? I'll show him I can handle this just fine. Well, I believe it's just about time. What? But we haven't even properly discussed the case yet. What's the matter? You look nervous, Athena. Don't tell me you're chickadeeing out. I'm just trembling with the excitement of battle. That's all. Outguts, let's do this. Come on, Mr. Wet. Get up off the floor. We've got a case to win. Yes, Ms. Chickadee. I'm gonna do my best.
Wet Soba. Wet Soba. Wet Soba. Wet Soba. Wet Soba.
I remember that being voiced. Hello? 2 bowls of noodles? Sorry, sir. No can do. Kinda busy at the courthouse. Huh? They hung up. Okay, let's do this. He's not going to do himself for this case any favors like this, Simon. Maybe we should let him go get some rest somewhere. Let me rest. Maybe if I were a lump of regular old flour dough for udon noodles. But I'm fresh like my soba, and you don't let soba dough rest. It's all about the 3 freshes. Grind the buckwheat seeds fresh, cut the dough fresh, boil the noodles for... Hey, Wolfie. Can already feel this case. He's blacked out. Oh boy, just knew something like this would happen. Simon, what are these 3 freshes of soba he was talking about? First, buckwheat seeds, or groats, are ground to make buckwheat flour. Then dough made with this flour is cut with a large rectangular knife into noodles. And finally, the buckwheat noodles are boiled. Each step is done immediately, one after the other, so that the soba is fresh when eaten. Oh, so that's what he meant. Wouldn't want him to make me any soba right now, that's for sure. Athena, this is no time for idle chatter. You need to get into the courtroom now. Just remember, as a prosecutor, I will be unable to lend you a hand, so don't expect any help from my quarter. There you go, treating me like I'm incompetent again. For your information, I wasn't planning on asking you for help anyway. Just you wait, Simon, I'll show you. Mr. Wright and Apollo may not be here, but that's alright. I could do this on my own. May 13th, 9:50 a.m. District Court, Courtroom number 4. Blackwell's still quite a hard ass, yeah. So this is like a filler case? Yes, pretty much. Day 1. Court is now in session. All rise. Court is now in session for the trial of Bucky Wet. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is fully prepared, Your Honor. What's this? No prayer this time, Prosecutor Sadbahi? That is correct, Your Honor. To expedite these proceedings, I completed them beforehand in the lobby. How very thoughtful of you. By the way, what brings you back to this country? Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth himself called on me to handle this case. Besides, I have a debt to repay. And though my opponent is yet a callow thing, I have no qualms with sending her down to hell.
Objection!
If you have a score to settle, it's with Apollo, not me. But more importantly, I am not a callow thing. I'm a qualified and capable attorney. Then what is that yellow attire if not proof of your immaturity, you small spring chick? Wow. Calling me out on that one. Now cease your shrill chirping. Now, Prosecutor Sadmahi. She's still only a teenager. Please go easy on her. Great, now even the judge is giving me the kid treatment. Very well, shall we begin, Your Honor? I'll see something here real quick. So I want to point something out here. That's really funny. It is May 13th. The previous case ended in Kurain, the Kingdom of Kurain, on May 12th. And presumably, they're ahead of this country in terms of time, because it's going from America to, like, you know, Middle East Asia. So that means that in less than a day, Sadmahi flew all the way back to America just to take on this case. Literally, the shit was Phoenix, and the priest was less than a day ago for him. Yes, I suppose we should. Now then, Prosecutor Sadmahi, please give your opening statement. Hey, V2. I'll show them what I could do. They'll be sorry they're underestimating me. Certainly. Let the last rites of the victim commence. The incident is believed to have occurred at around 4 p.m. yesterday, May 12th, at a storyteller's theater called Kurukuru Tei. Excuse me, had to make some noises there. The victim was a great master of the Tornado School of Rakugo, or comedic storytelling. His name was Taifu Tornado. The scene of the murder was the theater's dressing room. It is accessible via the staff entrance hallway and has an inner and outer sliding door. Backstage area showing the location of the stage, the dressing room, and the yard. The estimated time of death is between 2 and 5 p.m. Camel. My attorney's badge. It's lost that brand new shine, but that just shows how far I've come. Staff entrance, yard, dressing room, stage. It's like a doghouse in the backyard. Simon Blackquill, age 29, a prosecutor who excels at psychological manipulation. As far as psychology goes, he's kind of like my senior, I guess. Taifu Tornado, age 70, Rakugo storyteller, 55 years, who's famous for his soba-based routines. He has 2 disciples under him in his troupe. Bucky Wet, age 20, my client for this case and the 4th head of Wet Soba. He's still got a lot to learn about noodle making. Nayuta Sadmahi, age 25, a prosecutor from the Kingdom of Kurain. He's also known as the Last Rites Prosecutor. I don't have any idea what he's doing here. The cause of death is suffocation, though how the victim suffocated is yet to be determined. The autopsy found nothing unusual in his lungs or stomach, and there is no murder weapon. I will now submit the incident report to the court. Crime took place in the theater dressing room. Master Tornado was found with his face thrust into a large soba bowl. Cause of death is suffocation. Prosecutor Sadmahi, how can you name Mr. Wet as the culprit when you don't even know how the victim was killed, or even with what? While it is true that the weapon and precise method are as yet unknown, the accused is the only one who had the opportunity to commit murder. I will explain this assertion in further detail as we continue. Guess this means he has some kind of evidence to present. Now, would the accused care to plead his case? Come to think of it, where is the defendant, Miss Sykes? Sorry, Your Honor. I'm afraid Mr. Wet isn't feeling very well and is resting in the infirmary. Surely it is the lack of a clear conscience that impedes him from facing this court. Great, starting off on the wrong foot already. Mr. Wet is the head chef of a soba shop frequented by the victim. On the day of the incident, Mr. Wet went to the theater at the victim's request. Taifu Tornado was a connoisseur of soba, as you could see in these photographs. He was apparently making soba himself in his dressing room that very day. The soba found at the scene is likely the soba he himself made there. Liking soba is one thing, but making it in a theater dressing room is a bit much, non? Master Tornado truly had a passion for soba, didn't he? For a man like that to be murdered by a soba chef is simply unthinkable. And yet the accused has ample motive, for in the victim's safe we discovered the deed to the accused shop. Mr. Wet was to inherit Mr. Wet Soba when he lost his father recently. However, it's believed the victim stole the shop's deed during the transfer process. Prosecution believes the accused killed the victim in order to get the deed back. Wet Soba deed. Found in the victim's possession, it's the deed for the soba shop. The deed holder is Bucky Wet. A murder over the deed to a shop. That does sound like a plausible move. Can't actually read it. Cause of death, suffocation, nothing found in lungs. Take a sip for every time you say soba. Yeah, it's gonna come up a lot. So that's what this case is about. Wish Simon had filled me in a little better. Could have contributed more than just 1,000 buckets of cold sweat if he had. Defense. From your demeanor, I gather you know very little about the details of this case. Well, you see... You are dishonoring the soul of the victim by appearing in this courtroom unprepared. You are an embarrassment to your profession, you putrid egg yolk. Ah! I'm sorry? Apollo's a red pepper and now I'm an egg yolk? We've only just started and I've already been demoted from spring chick. I'm ready to call my witness, Your Honor. Let us listen to the words of the one who was present when the crime was discovered. Someone who was there when the victim's body was found? Very well. Witness, please take the stand. I mean, who do you think it's going to be? Witness, please state your name and occupation. Simon Blackwell, prosecutor. Prosecutor Blackwell? You didn't tell me you were going to take the stand. There simply wasn't time. What a shame, Prosecutor Blackwell. Had you shared the damning scene you witnessed beforehand with the defense, we could have moved this trial along and saved the victim's soul that much faster. Damning scene? What in the world did Simon see? What did he say? Prosecutor Sadmahi, was it? Before I give my testimony, there's something I'd like to confirm. By all means. This case involves Rakugo, a very traditional form of Japanese comedic storytelling. Do you have enough knowledge of this art to form to handle the case competently? Are you implying that I am not qualified for this case? Not yet. I am simply trying to ascertain your familiarity with the topic. For now. It is the prosecutor's duty to learn the background of any case he takes on. I did some research on Rakugo last night and have grasped the overall idea of it. How much could you possibly grasp in a single night? I think he goes on like a really long speech now. Rakugo is a form of entertaining storytelling that originated in the land of Japan. In it, the storyteller sits alone on the stage, with only a fan and a towel as... And the Rakugo artist tells long, whimsical stories, giving each character a distinct voice. This traditional art was originally invented by monks to make sermons more interesting. Everyone falls asleep. Are you satisfied? If not, I could explain the 12 types of endings to such stories. Or shall I perform the famous story of Jugemu instead? Okay, well, he knows his shit. Ugh. It appears you have put in a bit of study. Your acknowledgement is most welcome, Prosecutor Blackwell. I could see why you're known for being quite thorough in your research, Prosecutor. Like that time you went to Burger Barn. Now, I would love to see you perform that story you mentioned, if you don't mind. If that is your Honor's request. Jugemu, Jugemu. We don't have time for that. Your Honor, can we please get back to the trial? Oh, right, of course, I nearly forgot. Seriously, of all the things for you to forget. Now then, back to the case. Prosecutor Blackwell, please tell this court what you witnessed. I guess they couldn't ask Blackwell to be the prosecutor, because if he was a witness, that would kind of invalidate him. Though Phoenix, the friggin' defense attorneys have been witnesses to cases many times. So I don't understand why Simon witnessing this case would make it any different. What Simon saw. I went to the theater yesterday and arrived at approximately 4 p.m. I went straight to Master Tornado's dressing room to say hello. Bucky went into the dressing room thereafter, only to come storming out a while later. Master Tornado's disciple, Uendo, apparently then entered the room soon after. That's when Uendo discovered Master Tornado's body. Bit of voice crack there. Now, wait just a minute here, Prosecutor Blackwell. With testimony like that, you're practically accusing Mr. Wet of the crime. All I can do is state what I saw. I can't help how it appears. But a qualified and capable attorney, such as yourself, should be able to dispatch with it, right? Well, yeah, duh. Alright, I guess I better start by getting all the info I can out of him. Prosecutor Blackwell, what did you go to the theater for in the first place? I went because I had received an invitation from Master Tornado. Here, see for yourself. It was a special show commemorating his junior disciple Uendo's promotion. It was also an occasion to announce the boy's succession to the stage name of Uendo II. So what exactly does it mean to succeed to a stage name? You really don't know, do you? In the performing arts, a name succession is when an artist inherits a predecessor's name. I see. So there was another Uendo Rakugo artist before, and this disciple succeeded him, huh? And what exactly did your invitation say? It contained a simple letter of salutations and an outline of the show's program. Oh, it appears Taifu Tornado was going to perform Toki Soba, or Time Soba. He's famous for his masterful pantomime of eating soba using only his fan as a prop. And Uendo was to perform Soba Sei, or Soba Glutton, a soba-themed show, I see. Oh, I'm sorry, I got like so much goop in my throat right now for some reason. It seems you know a thing or two about Rakugo yourself, your baldness. The first to perform is the senior disciple, Geiru, followed by Uendo, and lastly, Master Tornado. Invitation Simon received from Master Tornado to the show commemorating Uendo's name succession and promotion. I see, so that's why you happened to be at the Storyteller's Theater yesterday. So what happened after you arrived? So the envelope was a ticket to the show and a letter from the victim. The letter contained a simple greeting and a rundown of the show program. Geiru was to perform her balloon act. Then Uendo was to do his Soba Glutton routine. And finally, Master Tornado was to perform his Time Soba routine. Hold it! And how did Master Tornado appear when you said hello to him? I went with the intention of greeting him, but ultimately we didn't actually meet. You didn't see him? Why not? Geiru escorted me to the dressing room, but we had heard the sound of Rakugo being performed from within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait in the hall until he was done. You heard Rakugo being performed in the dressing room? Yes, not just me, but Geiru as well. In other words, you could confirm that the victim was still alive at around 4 p.m.? Correct. I couldn't hear him clearly through the doors, but I'm sure it was Master Tornado. I could tell because it was the Time Soba routine being performed in there. So that means the victim was killed sometime after that. Wait, Hold it! Please tell us in detail how Mr. Wet appeared at the time. Geiru and I were waiting in the hallway for Master Tornado to finish practicing, when Bucky appeared and entered the dressing room with his things. What happened after that? We heard what sounded like Bucky shouting inside the room. About 10 minutes later, Bucky came back out of the dressing room looking rather irate. This is most likely when the murder was committed. The victim was an elderly man. It would have been entirely possible to kill him within the span of 10 minutes. Better come up with some kind of counter-argument and fast. Hold it! What do you mean by apparently? Didn't you see Uendo go in? No, I couldn't. I wasn't able to see the dressing room door from where I was standing at the time. But Geiru was right in front of it, so I'm sure she saw it all. I see. And why do you suppose Uendo went into the dressing room anyway? He had just finished his routine, so he was making a courtesy call. The disciples to pay their master respect right before and after each performance. And all disciples are expected to do this? Yes, it's common courtesy among Rakugo artists. I see. Could you tell us what happened after Uendo went into the dressing room? Certainly.
Hold it!
And how did Uendo act at the time? After Uendo has been in the dressing room for about 2 or 3 minutes, we heard a scream from inside the room and Uendo came flying out. Did you hear any signs of a struggle at the time? No, just Uendo's woeful scream. I see. Well done, Prosecutor Blackquill. Your testimony has given us quite a glimpse into the sequence of events. Thank you, Prosecutor Blackquill, and now please allow me to summarize your testimony. While Prosecutor Blackquill and Gayru were in the hallway waiting for Master Tornado, the accused came along and entered the dressing room with some items in tow. He was heard shouting from a time inside the dressing room, and about 10 minutes later he came back out of the room seeming rather angry. A short time after the accused had come and gone, Uendo Tornado went into the room. A few minutes later, after having discovered the victim's body, Uendo gave a scream and came running out into the hallway from within. Prosecutor Blackquill and Gayru then ran into the room and saw the body for themselves. From the circumstances, it's quite clear that the accused murdered the victim. This is crucial testimony indeed. Simon's eyewitness of the time of the incident. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Defense. An eyewitness has given conclusive testimony. What, entered the room at 4:10 and left at 4:20. Okay. Why not let it all go now and allow the victim his last rites? Not on your life. If Uendo went into the dressing room too, and was the first to discover the body, then who's to say he didn't commit the crime? Uendo was in the dressing room for a mere 2, perhaps 3 minutes. He could not have possibly committed murder in that time, nor without making any noise. Ooh, Simon, why'd you have to go and give that awful testimony? Prosecutor Blackquill, can't you give me something a little better to work with here? Isn't it up to you to ask the right questions? I'm certainly willing to tell you all that I know. So if you truly are as capable as you claim, then draw it out what you need yourself. This is no time for your twisted games, Prosecutor Blackquill. Just admit you don't remember it all that well. Prosecutor Blackquill. Watching you collude with the defense like this, I see that you are no prosecutor. Begone, witness. You shall haunt this sacred hall no more. How dare you treat me like some evil spirit to be exorcised? I'll remember this, you blackguard. Don't worry, Prosecutor Blackquill. I've got this. Would I have my way, he would not be the only one here to step down. You, half-boiled putrid egg yolk. Ew. I object to the notion that I'm a gooey, smelly mess. Well, you're looking pretty wet and gross right now. Prosecutor Blackquill's testimony was like the lowly opening act of a Rakugo show. He may hold the title of prosecutor, but this time, he stood on the side of the defense. To restore balance to this trial, I would like to present an actual witness for the prosecution. And who is this witness? The person who was with Prosecutor Blackquill when the body was discovered. She is another entertainer of the Tornado School, Miss Gayru Tornado. Here's the person that everyone's very normal about. Please state your name and occupation, witness. Hello, everyone. I'm here to represent the Tornado School with a twisty twist. And bloom! There you have it. A stunning balloon hat. It's me, the balloon artist you all know and love, Gayru Tornado. Just call me Gayru, sweetie. You don't look like a Rakugo artist. 1, 2, balloon! What a way to capture your audience's attention. I dare say I can't take my eyes off those balloons. Which ones, Your Honor? Please tell me you're talking about the hat, Your Honor. Oh, Mr. Judgy, I'm so glad you liked my performance. Would you consider joining my fan club? Pretty please. Oh, absolutely. And please save your fanboying for after the trial, Your Honor. Anyway, Geru, I can't help but notice you seem awfully cheerful for just having lost your master. Of course I'm sad, but Shisho would scold me if I didn't put on a big smile. Never show sadness. Smile, smile, smile. With a twisty twist twist. And balloon! There you have it. One gorgeous cake. I see. Guess an entertainer's gotta do what an entertainer's gotta do. Didn't we just go over this in case 2? Her balloon art's worse than the Rorschach test. All I saw was a severed monster head. Geru, you're obviously a balloon artist. So how did you come to be a member of a Rakugo school? Well, my father, my late father that is, was a Rakugo artist, you see. So I joined the Tornado School to be just like my daddy someday. I see. My father and I own so much to Shisho, our master. But that Bucky Wet. Oh, how could he? I want to see him pay for what he's done as quickly as possible. Your distress is entirely understandable, and my condolences for your loss. And not only that, but he... You have more to say about Mr. Wet? Every time he comes to deliver soba to us, he yells at me. He always tells me to get away. Is there any reason why he would say such a thing to you? He says the smell of my perfume will get into his soba and ruin it. Like, how could he say that? This is a great scent. How very rude of him. I don't blame you for being upset. Excuse me, Your Honor, but please don't let Geru's balloons bias your judgment. Mr. Wet hasn't been proven guilty yet, remember? It'll be interesting to see how long that fire of yours will last, Offense. Now then, Geru, please share the truth with this court. Yes, Geru, your testimony, please. What a weird time to join the stream. Hell yeah. Hey, Silver. Before the murder was discovered. Geru Tornado, age 34, balloon artist and her master's senior disciple. She has 12 years of performance under her belt. 34, wow. From 4 p.m. to a little after 4:20 p.m. when Shisho's body was found, Simon and I were standing in the hallway in front of the dressing room. Before we went to discover the body, the only person who had gone in there was Bucky. Come to think of it, a little while before Bucky showed up, Jugema was barking like mad. Prosecutor Blackquill, do you have any objections to this witness's testimony? No. Make up your bloody mind, sad monk Sadmahi. First you exorcise me, and now this. You need only do as you're instructed by this humble servant of the Holy Mother. As there are no objections, Your Honor, let us move on to the salvation of the victim's soul. Pretty happy with yourself today? Oh, that's good.
Hold it!
Hey, I'm the defense attorney here, Prosecutor Sadmahi. And I just might have an objection or two once I actually cross-examine the witness. So what are you asking Prosecutor Blackquill for? I'm the one you should be checking with. There is a passage in the sacred scriptures of Kurainism. Shut up, woman. To stir the wind is beyond the power of a spring chick. In other words, the inexperienced are useless. With that in mind, it seemed more judicious to consult with Prosecutor Blackquill. He doesn't even see you as an adversary, Sykes Dono. Well, I won't let either of you insult me. Wow. I'll show you I'm no inexperienced spring chicken. Your Honor, I'm ready to cross-examine the witness. Hope you can make Prosecutor Sadmahi see you as a worthy adversary, Miss Sykes. I'll allow your cross-examination, so you'd better strike while the iron is hot. Made a new friend that's into inflation, the same type as you like. Cool. Perfect time to show up in my stream, too, when I'm cross-examining the balloon lady.
Hold it!
So the murder must have happened sometime in those 20 minutes, correct? But 20 minutes isn't a lot of time, is it? I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to say? That's what happened, you know? Isn't that right, Simon? Yes, Geiru and I can both confirm that Master Tornado still lived at around 4 p.m. Oh yeah, you can, can't you? See?
Hold it!
Law in this world is whack if cross-examination could be completely skipped. Yeah, it is. Hey, Merc. The fact that the two of you were in there in front of the dressing room means you were able to see everyone who went in and out, right? Of course. Are you insinuating that I was daydreaming or sleeping while standing up or something? No, of course not. I saw everything, I tell you. Fine, so you say anyway, but did you really?
Hold it!
Only the defendant Nuendo entered around the time of the murder? I'm pressing the wrong button. That's right. That's why it must have been Bucky who killed poor Shisho. Let's take a deep breath, okay, Geiru? So not a single other person set foot into the dressing room during that time? I already told you over and over, didn't I? There was nobody else. Must apologize on the lawyer's behalf. Even her memory is that of a spring chick's. Please overlook her transgression as best you can. Oh, I see. Poor thing. Hang in there, sweetie. Hey, who are you calling a bird brain, buddy?
Hold it!
Jugemu? That's my doggy. I keep him at the theater. Let's see. With a twisty twist twist. And balloon! There you have it. My cute little Jugemu. He's kinda creepy looking. Oh, but he's a really, really good boy. And why was Jugemu barking? Do you think it was because he saw someone suspicious? If so, then we have a new suspect in this case. Now, why was he barking again? Oh, I remember, because it was time for me to feed him. So I went into his yard and gave him some food. Couldn't somebody have slipped in the dressing room while they were doing that? While you were doing that? Ironic insult used, yeah. Nope, the door out into the yard was wide open. I would have seen if anybody went into the dressing room. Prosecutor Blackwell, come down to the stand for a sec, please. How many times must I do this? You saw what Geiru was talking about, right? So why didn't you mention that before? Can't be expected to remember every minute detail. Well, remember them now, please. Did Geiru go out into the yard? Yes, I remember now that she went to feed Jugemu. And I saw her looking towards the dressing room quite frequently as well. Do you recall anything else? It looked as though she were feeding the dog a great quantity of dumplings or something. Jugemu couldn't finish them all, so he buried the rest in a corner of the yard. That's about all I can remember. Includes additional info. Looks like Geiru was telling the truth. Your Honor, I'd like Geiru's last statement added to her testimony. As you wish, defense. I was in the yard, but the door was wide open, so I could keep watch on the dressing room.
Hold it!
You know what this means, right, Geiru? You weren't in the hallway the entire time after all, were you? Well, okay, so I did go out into the yard, but it was just for a second. And the yard door was wide open, so I could still see the dressing room the whole time. The door was open, so she could still see the dressing room. Prosecutor Blackwell, I need you on the stand again, please. What am I, your lady-in-waiting? Do you remember anything about the time Geiru was in the yard? Simply that Jugemu buried the food he couldn't finish in a corner. That's about all I can remember. Thank you. Didn't really need to hear about the dog again, though. When I finished feeding Jugemu, I returned to the hallway. And then I saw Bucky go into the dressing room. No question about it. Okay, so around the time of the murder, Geiru and Simon were hanging out just outside the dressing room. Guess I'm gonna have to find a flaw in there somehow if I want to get anywhere. See, sometimes they amend the testimony, sometimes they replace the testimony. Yeah, it doesn't look like that works. Especially if that circle is depicting the way the door opens. If Simon was standing... What happened? If Simon was standing right here and looking out into the yard, then she would have been looking over here, but presumably the door is blocking the view either way, because it's either closed that way or it's closed against the wall, the opening. I think.
Objection!
So you were able to keep an eye on the dressing room while you were out in the yard. Is that correct? That's right, the door into the yard was wide open. Sorry, but that makes zero sense. Take a look at this diagram of the backstage area. There's a clear contradiction between this diagram and the witness's testimony. Oh? I'm afraid I don't understand, Miss Sykes. Please point out what the contradicts the witness's... Please point out... Wow. Please point out what contradicts the witness's testimony.
Take that!
Gabriel was in the yard near the doghouse. Prosecutor Blackwell even saw her there. And while she was out there, the door to the yard had been left open. Ah, I see. Yes, if the door to the yard was wide open, as Geru said, it would have been blocked her view, making it impossible for her to see into the dressing room. What? No way! But even if there were admittedly a few moments Geru had not been keeping watch, how much would that really affect this case? It would greatly affect the case. From the spot Prosecutor Blackwell stood, he couldn't see the dressing room door either. Anyone could have entered the dressing room during that time without being seen. Ah! Geru, why did you try to hide the fact that you weren't watching the dressing room? What?
Objection!
Hide the fact. You speak as though you think she had something to do with the murder. Rather than deliberate deception, it was more likely a simple oversight, right, witness? Well, I was so shocked by what happened, I was just confused, that's all. Okay. Even though she is trying to keep up a brave front as an entertainer, the truth is that she's being torn apart by grief. For her mind to be in turmoil is hardly unexpected. Yes, it must be very difficult indeed. To a disciple, one's master is akin to a real parent. Surely her shock is immense. The way this lawyer tries to pin the blame on this poor soul at the first opportunity. All I could say is, defense attorneys are heartless creatures indeed. But that wasn't what I was trying to do. Is it beyond your comprehension, defense? Your unskilled argument is scarring this witness even further. And if we ask the people of this courtroom, I'm sure they would agree. What? The gallery doesn't get a say in this. Are you afraid to find out if they all think ill of you, or that perhaps you are in the wrong? Listen to them now with that keen sense of hearing you're so proud of. He's right, that was harsh. She didn't have to go that far. I feel kind of sorry for the witness. And why is this lawyer's outfit so yellow? No, I was just trying to find the truth. Why is the whole gallery siding with Prosecutor Sadmahi? People understand. They know what is right and what is wrong. That lawyer's still in training, isn't she? Why is she all by herself? I hear the voices of the gallery. I can hear the voices of their hearts. Alright, not a fan of this guy. He seems very narcissistic. Yeah. It's so intense. I feel so alone up here, fighting by myself. Are you afraid, child? It is ludicrous to come to trial with such paltry preparation of the soul. I command you to leave this courtroom at once. But I can't give up. I have to keep pressing on. As long as there was a moment when nobody was watching the dressing room door, the defendant can't be convicted solely on Blackwell and Geru's testimonies. Even now, you would continue to resist. You are childish in defeat as well, I see. I'm not out for the count yet, Buster. I'm just getting started. Despite your posturing, is it not true that your resolve could crumble at any moment? With but a little push, you would surely succumb to despair. A little push, such as with this piece of conclusive evidence. Are you on the middle of saying that? Conclusive evidence, huh? That is correct. We found a critical piece of evidence at the scene of the crime. The victim's dying message, which clearly implicates the accused, Bucky Wet. Hey, yo, back from Maurice Attorney. Hey, Blaze, how you doing? Look at these Japanese playing cards, known as Karuta, lined up on the table. These special English version Karuta cards spell out a message. That message is wet number 4. Wet number 4? You mean wet noodle number 4? Yes, wet noodle number 4, as the 4th head of chef of the wet soba is also known. The message points to none other than the accused, Bucky Wet. No! That makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Wow, great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Oh no, this is really, really bad. What do I do? What do I do? Victim's dying message is clearly visible in them. Would you still carry on your futile fight in the face of this irrefutable evidence? You could say whatever you want, but we won't know until we... It is cruel to give the accused false hope. You will only compound his suffering. Wise people of the courtroom, do you not agree? He's right. It's cruel to make him suffer when there's conclusive evidence. What an incompetent noob. I feel bad for the victim and the defendant. What? But I'm trying to prove Mr. Wet's innocence here. I know you could hear the defense. The voices implore you to save the accused's soul. It is time for you to let it go and move on, you inexperienced lawyer. You lack the competence at which to accomplish anything meaningful here. Is he right? Is this too much for me to handle on my own? What good is she doing anybody? She should just quit right now. What is with the hostility in this one case in particular? It's like Sadmahi purposely called all the people to like heckle her because she knows she has like trauma. Also forgot to mention about your friend that they make videos on YouTube and Instagram. Oh, cool. Like costume stuff or like animations or stuff. Yeah. Urgh. Now, defense, leave everything to this humble servant of the Holy Mother.
Silence!
Look who it is! He's trying to use your keen sense of hearing against you to manipulate the trial, Athena. What a cheap trick for a supposedly holy man. Simon? And you fopdoodles in the gallery. Can't a man watch a trial in peace? This inexperienced amateur is about to turn the trial around. Does that prosecutor really think she could turn things around? Ooh, this courtroom is starting to change. Prosecutor Blackquill, what are you doing at the defense's bench? I grew bored of watching from the gallery. Just videos showing off his inflatable stuff. Oh, cool. Besides, if I would leave this trial to the spring chicken and lose my favorite soba shop in the process, I will be quite cross. You voluntarily stand on the side of impurity and sin? Truly, what a fool you are. To think you were so easily manipulated by his parlor tricks. Whatever happened to qualified and capable Athena? I just let my guard down a little bit, but it won't happen again. Then gird up your loins and steel yourself for battle. I'm not girding up anything in this skirt, but I am ready to get serious. It seems there is now yet another soul I must cast down into hell. I was in prison for a very long time, and hell sounds no worse than cell, to be honest. But the fires of hell will not be the end of your suffering. For the sin you have just committed, you shall surely be reborn as a panda in your next life. A white and black reverse panda, that is. And you shall be put in a zoo to be exposed to public ridicule. A threat like that won't work on Prosecutor Blackwell. After all, he's already used to looking like a panda in this life. Who are you calling a panda? Sorry. I see that you are both prepared to face the fires of damnation. Geru, thank you for your service. You may step down now. Okie dokie. Bye-bye, balloon! There go the balloons. Does everything have to be about balloons with her? Hey, pandas are awesome. Yeah, they are. Now then. I have a witness prepared to testify about the Karuta cards. And who is this witness this time? The first to discover the body and someone who would witness the crime scene firsthand. Mr. Uendo Tornado. The time has finally come for that ponytailed pair over there to finally let it all go and move on. Very well, let's bring in this witness then. Pandas are awesome. Just watch Kung Fu Panda. I've never actually watched a Kung Fu Panda movie. Witness, please state your name and occupation. I am the Rakugo storyteller, Uendo Tornado. Even if my performance isn't worth watching, I will certainly watch my words. I wouldn't want to say anything thoughtless and get arrested. After all, that'd be, Raku no. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Hold it!
You can't leave yet. You've only just introduced yourself. Oh, my. Are you a fan of mine, miss? Would you like my autograph? One moment. Doesn't he, like, turn it into an airplane? Yeah, no, he just throws it like one. Ow! What do you think you're doing? No need to stand on ceremony. My fan deserves a fan, after all. A fan for a fan. Nice one. Oh, wife, it isn't Simon. How are you on this fine day, sir? Quite a dilly of a pickle we found ourselves in, wouldn't you say? I don't believe I've ever seen you talk quite so much, Uendo. Never performed in a place like this, you know. Got butterflies here, can't you see? Why do I always get the weird ones? Pardon me, witness. Fuck me. As much as I enjoy your banter, I believe you'd better return to the case at hand. I suppose you're right. In that case... I was promoted to Futatsumi yesterday, and received the stage name of Uendo. That show was our way of celebrating my new name and middle rank standing. Hee! And then that happened. Huh. I never dreamed something like that had happened, not in a million years. And just as I got my chance to start repaying my debt to Shisho, too. Yeah, plus I'm worried about Geiru. The way she clung to Shisho, poor thing, told her to keep a stiff upper lip. Stuff like rigor mortis. Keep telling those lame jokes and Shisho will come scold you from the grave. I wouldn't mind getting yelled at, you know, if it meant seeing him again. Uendo, please, as charming as your various characters are, this isn't a Rakugo stage. Let us hear your testimony now, witness. Tell the court about the evidence left at the scene, the proof of the accused's guilt. Free signature for someone famous, even if it's still small, can amount to something in the future. I mean... You know, you don't... I'm not... I'm of the belief that, like... You shouldn't get autographs for monetary value. I don't like putting a monetary value on someone's signature. It's weird. Like, it's one thing to have something signed by someone you admire, but like to then go around and sell it to me is kind of weird. I would never sell any of the autographs I have right now in my room, and I have quite a few. Shisho's dying message. I noticed Shisho's dying message right away. The stiff cards are right next to the stiff, you see. Hey, now enough with the silly puns already. Anyway, I got the meaning right away. I knew it must have been talking about Bucky. That was the Master's final message, left as he was drowning in soba broth. It's so like Shisho not to write Bucky's name outright. Plain and simple wasn't his style. Well, that certainly was a more entertaining testimony than usual. The variety of characters performed by the witness was absolutely splendid. But he shouldn't be performing any characters in the first place, Your Honor. And Uendo, the murder weapon hasn't been determined yet. So how can you say the victim was drowned in soba broth? It's obvious. All you have to do is look at the crime scene. He was found with his face shoved in a bowl. I don't know why I'm tripping over my words so much. He was found with his face shoved in a bowl. It's only natural to assume he was drowned in that broth for the noodles. Except we're not here to assume things, Uendo, so let's stick to the facts, please. My, it's a little like a soba chef to kill someone this way, wouldn't you say? And with the Karuta message he left behind, it's clear Bucky Wet did it. Setting aside the issue of the murder weapon for now, that dying message certainly does seem to be irrefutable evidence. Indeed, it proves the absolute guilt of the accused. Even now I gotta admit that I can't see how that message can mean anything else. Bucky used soba for the deed, all to get back at the soba shop deed. This testimony makes Mr. Wet look super guilty. I have to do something. That's his conclusive evidence. What a farce. What do you mean, Simon? What's this? I thought you said you weren't planning on asking me for help. I did and I won't, thank you very much. Simon must have found an inconsistency in the testimony. Better listen carefully and try to see what he found. Guess the only reason you'd sell for someone you either didn't know or didn't like. Yeah, I guess so. Victim was making soba noodles from scratch in the dressing room. The room was covered in soba flour. There are 2 drink cans in the fridge. That does look like WHETNO4. It's like something written on that card right there, too.
Hold it!
Uendo, when you saw the cards on the table, what made you think they were Master Tornado's dying message? Well, it was a coded message right there next to the body. I'm sure anybody would have thought they were there to plant the name is Killer. I love murder mysteries and often watch them on TV. Oh, I see. I saw a similar scene during a murder mystery marathon last Tuesday. That's what made me think this must be a dying message.
Hold it!
The cards were on the table. Your master's body was slumped over, right? You must have been surprisingly calm to notice them at the time. As I said, the stiff cards are right there next to the stiff, so they were hard to miss. But wouldn't it have been more natural to notice the victim rather than the cards? The message just caught my eye because the stiff cards are right there next to the stiff. Yes, but that fact hardly seems significant enough to make a person take note of them. Stiff cards next to the stiff. So basically there was no real reason for them to catch your eye, was there? Hey now, enough with the silly puns already!
Hold it!
That's right, I need you to give your testimony, not perform a scene. Please remember you're on the witness stand, not the stage. Look at all these wonderful people in the audience! It's only natural for an entertainer to want to have some fun. Guess we could let a few jokes slide, right? The inevitable bleeding of your work into other areas of your life. I know how it is. I find myself being unwittingly judgmental in my personal life, too. Right, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Well done, Your Honor. Guess you can't judge a judge by his cover. I advise the defense not to be so critical of the witness. Yes, Your Honor. Much obliged, hee. Simon, are all Rakugo artists like this? It's hard to say. It could simply be the eccentricity of it could simply be the eccentricity of an entertainer, or perhaps he's hiding something. Well, he doesn't have to entertain people in a court of law. And if he is trying to hide something, maybe it'll show up as a contradiction or something. The cards do spell out wet number 4, which could be interpreted as wet noodle number 4, I guess. I suppose you took this to mean Bucky Wet? There's only one wet noodle around here, and you've seen that giant 4 on his back. It's the only interpretation that makes sense. Yeah, I guess so. But wait a minute. What is it? What if there's another wet noodle in the area? What? Did I say something strange? Bucky is the sole heir to the shop, so enough with the ludicrous straw grasping. Hey, how was I supposed to know? Just listen to the testimony again and find the glaring inconsistency. Yep, hey Sully, how you doing? Sleepy Wiggly, yeah, a little bit the same. So like she showed not to write Bucky's name outright, plain and simple wasn't his style. That was the Master's final message left as he was drowning in soba broth. How would he have arranged it like that? Wasn't it? Fuck. This statement is absolute nonsense, Your Honor, and this evidence proves it. Wild guessing coming? Widget, shush, you're not supposed to tell. That strange device says what you're really thinking, doesn't it, Miss Sykes? In other words, the only real nonsense here is your wild guess, isn't it? Youch. Et tu, Widget. Must have been talking about Bucky. I don't know.
Hold it!
I doubt this is a double press thing. I don't know.
Hold it! Hold it!
I need to lock in. I'm a little tired. Excuse me. The master's found much left. He was drowning in soba broth.
Objection!
Your Honor, the witness's statement contradicts with this piece of evidence. Oh, well, let us ask that panda over there what he thinks. Is there really a contradiction here, oh noble panda? No, there is no contradiction. And there you have it. If Mr. Panda says there's none, then it must be true. Yikes. Down, boy. Nice panda. What's the matter, Athena? Have you already been bested by Prosecutor Sad Monk already? Of course not. I just don't have any idea of what to do. Your expression tells me you have no idea what to do. Then here's my advice. Why don't you try focusing on this statement here? Though what it contradicts with, well, I'll leave that to you to puzzle out. Why can't you just stop with the mind games and just tell me which piece to present already? Anyway, I better try comparing the evidence with the statement he showed me. Master's final okay, so it was that one.
Objection!
Damn it, that wasn't it either? Knock knock, who's there? This evidence and that statement. This evidence and that statement who? They contradict each other, that's who. That's not even a proper call and response for a knock knock joke. And what's more, her claim does not make any logical sense. Your performance merits neither applause nor leniency defense. Ugh. Everyone's a critic. Cut me some slack. I think found his lung suffocation.
Objection!
Guess it was the autopsy report. There's a contradiction in Wendo's testimony. You know, you're beefing it. And would you care to explain where, Miss Sykes? Certainly, Your Honor. According to the autopsy report, nothing unusual was found in the victim's lungs. Yes, it does say that, doesn't it? If he had drowned in a bowl of soba, then there should have been soba broth in his lungs. But since there wasn't any, it means the victim was suffocated with something other than soba broth. What? This is the contradiction you noticed, isn't it, Simon? Not bad. Not bad at all, even though you fucked it up 3 times. Guess I showed you. But if drowning in the soba broth wasn't the cause of death, then when was the victim's face thrust into that bowl? Typhoid Tornado's face was thrust in the bowl. Probably after his murder. Because no soba broth was discovered in the victim's lungs. His head must have been placed into the bowl after he was already killed. And that's when the soba broth must have been spilled onto the Karuta cards. Karuta cards. In other words, the victim could not have lined up the cards as he was drowning. I see. So it was done after he was already dead. Why would the culprit do such a thing? I'm afraid I don't know that yet.
Objection!
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Every time that butterfly appears, I just think of that. You boast of psychological expertise, yet you cannot determine such a simple motive. My sides are liable to split the absurdity. What? And I suppose you know why? Of course, desecrating the body in that manner indicates a strong sense of enmity from the part of the perpetrator. Yes, that does make sense. Certainly paints a clear picture of the culprit's intense feelings towards the victim. Feelings of resentment over the theft of the soba shop's deed, no doubt. Great, just great. Now the judge has even a more unfavorable impression of Bucky.
Silence!
Blah, blah, blah. Must you come undone at every juncture? If the culprit had enough time to set up Master Tornado's body, do you think they would have honestly failed to notice his dying message? Good point. The cards were right in front of his body, after all. Rationally speaking, there's no way the culprit could have missed that, huh?
Objection!
Ah, but was the accused rational at the time, given the way he stormed out of that room? Wrong voice. Ah, but was the accused rational at that time, given the way he stormed out of that room?
Silence!
Never mind that. I have something more important to ask Uendo. Me? You saw the Karuta cards firsthand, did you not? Would you care to tell us about them in more detail? Those tiny crime scene photos show us precious little of what I wish to know. Well, those cards are from Shisho's special Soba Scenes of Tokyo Pass set. Each card's related in some way to Soba. Spare me the history lesson. Just tell me how the cards looked at the scene and no more. Well, there was soba broth spilled all over them. That's not much help, I'm afraid. Prosecutor Sadmahi, do you have a photo that shows the cards more clearly? I do. Please accept this meager offering, Your Honor. Wet number 4. Wavy Hound Equipment, Traditional Nostalgic. Ouch! 4. Oh my, what delightful looking cards. Well, well. Tearing Prosecutor Sadmonk's conclusive evidence apart should be a breeze with this. Huh? Don't tell me you haven't noticed already. Don't be silly, of course I have. Not noticed anything, but I can't exactly say that now, can I? Karuta cards in the victim's dressing room. They spell out wet number 4. Miss Sykes, do you really see a problem with the prosecution's claim about these cards? Well, go on then. Alright, it's do or die. All I have to do is study the picture and... These cards contain a contradiction, are kind of riddle. They were rearranged. I could already tell. You could see that the stains don't match up with the puddle. Or the spill. These cards were rearranged. But how can you tell? Please take a good look at these cards, Your Honor. The answer's right in front of us. Where exactly should we be looking? The size of the cards, the pictures on the cards, the soba broth stains. Please focus your attention on the soba broth stains in these cards. The outlines of these stains don't match up with the larger stain on the table at all. Oh, would you look at that? You're absolutely right. And? Please recall that the soba broth was spilled and got in the cards after the murder, when the victim's face was placed in the bowl. Yes, go on. By the stains, we can see that the culprit deliberately rearranged the cards after that. In other words, this message was altered in order to pin the crime on my client. What? And then if we put the cards back in their original positions, we can restore the evidence and see who the cards were really pointing toward. That's true. Couldn't. Then what are we waiting for? Let's do this. All I have to do is rearrange the cards so the stains match up. Do I actually have to do this, or does she doesn't do it automatically? Nope, she does it on... Oh, no, I have to do it. Cool. Interactivity. Give me 1 second here. Let's see. Where was this W card originally? Oh, I have to put myself down. I can't see. That was on the edge, so it was here. Perfect. Okay, the H card is next. Let's see, where was this card originally? This was at the bottom, specifically... I don't see this little jutting part, so it has to be this one. Yes, now the E card. That has to be here, right? Perfect match. Next is the T card. Let's see, where was this originally? Great, that fits right there. Now the N card. Whoa. Athena, you can't use that card. There, that looks good. Now O. Let's see. That had to have been up here. Nice. Almost done. The last card is 4. Let's see. Where was the 4 card originally?
Take that!
Owen 4th. So the message wet number 4 was originally supposed to say Owen 4th. And this original message is the clue to the identity of the true culprit. What? That indignant look on Prosecutor Sadmonk's face is positively priceless. This is absurd. So it was originally Owen 4th? It wasn't wet number 4? Maybe the lawyer is smarter than we thought. Order in the court. Well, I would have imagined that there was more to these cards than... I never would have imagined there was more to these cards than meets the eye. To read a card's update in the court record, they originally spell out Owen 4th as shown. So now that that's settled, what does Owen 4th even mean? Wait, am I... Who else do you suppose is to provide an explanation? Of course it's you. But I hadn't thought that far yet. Change the cards around all you like, but if you cannot explain what this message means, then it's as worthless as you are, defense. No! And so the spring chick that fancies itself a graceful swan is brought back down to earth. I have to do something, but what? Still your thoughts for a second. There's a perfectly good witness to question right over there. Oh, right. That's a good idea. Come on, Athena. Get a hold of yourself. Uendo, does the phrase Owen 4th mean anything to you? No, there's no one named Owen in the Tornado family, or our circle of friends. Go ahead, ask anybody you'd like. You can't be serious. Having rummaged through their empty mind, I see you have, as expected, turned up nothing.
Silence.
I'm afraid I have no idea who the devil this Owen 4th is either. But the fact remains that the cards were rearranged to pin the blame on Mr. Wet. That in itself proves the defendant isn't the culprit. The real culprit. Blech. Prosecutor Blackwell is right. Besides, the important question here isn't who does the message point to, but rather, who rearranged the cards? Why didn't you point that out earlier if you already knew? Sorry. In any case, there were 2 opportunities for someone to rearrange the cards. The first was when Mr. Wet entered the dressing room, and the second was when Uendo discovered the body. Are you accusing me of rearranging the cards? Me, who came to testify out of the goodness of my heart? Well, you didn't exactly come running out screaming straight away, did you? Even a mere 2 or 3 minutes is more than enough time to get up to some devilry. So what exactly were you doing in there, Uendo? Put down the tea and spit out your answer! Hey, Mr. Prosecutor! What's a guy supposed to do at a time like this? Silence is more precious than diamonds, witness. Therefore, you need only stay silent. The defense is devious. They are waiting for you to make a slip of the tongue. Oh, I see. So that's what they're after, is it? In that case, Your Honor, I've decided not to say another word. Very good. After all, your right to remain silent is protected by law. Well, Prosecutor Blackwell, any other brilliant ideas you'd like to share? Did you hear that, Sykes Dono? A Rakugo artist who's afraid to speak. Who's ever heard of such a thing? Are you trying to taunt him into talking? Such a petty trick will never work. That's right, I'm not gonna fall for it. I'm only asking to hear your story. Besides, is it not your job to tell your tales if there is an audience to listen? Even so, I have the right to refuse to answer. The more you keep quiet, the more we want you to talk. That's simply human nature. Isn't that right, people of the gallery? In a world where the Miranda rights exist, isn't that usually afforded to the defendant during arrest? Yes. The right to remain silent means you have the right not to say anything that incriminates you while being arrested, or detained, rather. Sorry, I need to sip. Even with this wonderful audience in front of you, you still refuse to talk? If so, then perhaps you chose the wrong line of work, my friend. Are you saying I should quit because I'm not afraid to speak my mind, I'll have you know? Oh no, never mind what I just said. It is scary to talk, it's absolutely terrifying. But no, as a Rakugo artist, I must talk. If I don't, how can I ever show my face on stage again? Your Honor, I'm ready to testify. He did it. He managed to convince Uendo with the power of suggestion. His power of suggestion technique. Bully for you, Uendo. That's as a real Rakugo artist should be. Alright, if the witness wishes to testify, then by all means, please do. Perfect Batman gambit, yeah? To be turned by such an obvious ploy. What a man of weak spirit. In the dressing room. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called up to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I entered the dressing room, I saw Shisho slumped over the table, motionless. From what I can tell, there do not appear to be any inconsistencies in the testimony. Of course there aren't any, because I'm not trying to hide anything. Prosecutor Sadmahi's right. I don't see anything inconsistent either. But I did pick up on some faint discord in Uendo's heart. Oh, I forgot to put my PNG tuber back. Whoops! Humph. Ponder all you would like, defense, but it is pointless. Your Honor, I believe there is no need for further deliberation.
Hold it!
I disagree, Your Honor. I detected discord in the voice of the witness's heart. That's a clear indication that Uendo is facing some sort of inner turmoil. Are you saying what I think you're saying, Miss Sykes? Yes, Your Honor. The defense would like to conduct a quick therapy session on the witness. Uendo, there is no need for you to submit to this so-called therapy. It's fine by me. I have nothing to hide. Bring it on. Why is my life suffering? Impetuous fool! Why will you not listen to the guidance of his humble servant of the Holy Mother? The witness wishes to proceed. I see no problem, prosecutor. In one ear and out the other. It seems this performer has no need for your so-called guidance, Prosecutor Sad Monk. Just know this, Uendo. Your folly will surely earn you divine retribution. Thanks, Simon. Going to make the most of this opportunity you created for me. Just keep your wits about you. I will. Uendo, could you tell us again about what happened in the dressing room? Yeah. Aqua's fine. Yo, hey! How you doing? Spirit of Justice. Oh, Aqua's fine to call you. Hey, how you doing, Aqua? What's up? After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I entered the dressing room, I saw Shisho slumped over the table, motionless. Not bad, just got lunch? Awesome. It is 2:30 in the morning for me. I didn't really notice any unexpected emotions in that testimony. But it isn't always a question of the presence of an emotional response, but the absence. You know, you're right. It's not always the emotions I do see. Sometimes it's a matter of what I don't, but would expect to see. I better carefully compare Uendo's statements to his emotions again. Honestly, I should really go see a Rakugo performance just to see one. I would be interested in seeing one at some point. Rakugo, I've seen Kabuki before. I've seen at a furry convention, or at Anthrocon a couple years ago. They actually had a couple of no, it wasn't Kabuki. They were Taiko performers. I would like to see Kabuki. I've never seen Kabuki. I've seen Taiko. After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. Happy there. Called to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. Why? This is where he should be feeling something. When I entered the dressing room, I saw Shisho slumped over the table motion. Okay.
Got it.
Nope, that was wrong. They have Kabuki here, but tickets are very expensive, like 14,000 yen. Uendo, something here doesn't just match. Just doesn't match, excuse me. Words. Match. Oh, I see. Match as in... manage to assert a thoughtful, calculated hypothesis. In other words, you are the something here that doesn't match, right? Right emotion, wrong statement. Also, you don't have to help me. I'll get it. It appears you've met your match. No worries. That was just one match. There's still the rest of the game to go. So Shisho slumped over motionless. Yeah, wouldn't you feel surprised at seeing this, rather than just sadness? Got it. Uendo, I'm noticing something strange with these emotions. Oh, okay. Something strange with cheesy toe skin, you say? No, something strange with these emotions. How could you have heard some thin stranger with cheesy toe skin? I don't know. Maybe it's me who's got some cheese in my ears. What? Did he will the floor to open up and swallow his cushions out of shame for that bad joke? The point I'm trying to make is that I noticed something unexpected in your emotions. Okay. Sorry, my thing is a mess here. The point I'm trying to make is that I noticed something unexpected in your emotions. Now stop hiding and come out where we could see you. Bailiff, please bring the witness a few replacement cushions. It's funny, playthrough's golden rule applies, no backseating. I mean, I've played this before. I know generally what the answers are. But I also don't want people who haven't seen the game before in chat to get spoiled by the answers. I feel like I enjoyed Rakugo more than Kabuki, if I'm being honest. I'm gonna be honest, I can't really say one way or another because I haven't seen either of them. I think either theater would be interesting to see. But, you know, it's not exactly common where I'm from, so... Kabuki is more silent acting, yeah. So what was this unexpected thing you noticed? Oh, come on. His Honor said a few cushions, not a few dozen. Now that we've all had a good laugh, please continue, Miss Sykes. Who's laughing? Focus, Athena. Don't let yourself get rattled. When she opened the post. Rattle 'em, boys. When you entered the room and saw your master slumped motionless on the table, you weren't the least bit shocked, Uendo. Don't you think that's a little odd? Is it, though? The lack of surprise means you were prepared for what you saw. I think I know why. Zabuton aren't actually that comfy to sit on. That's why he's got so many of them. The reason Uendo wasn't shaken when he saw his master's dead body is because he has an entertainer's guts. He was zoned out, like I am right now. He knew about his master's death. Uendo, I think maybe the reason you weren't shaken was because you already knew you would find your master dead. already knew you would find your master dead. Something about the way I said that doesn't sound right. What? What kind of thing is that to say? You've got it all wrong. Oh, right, I just remembered something. I thought Shisho was just sleeping when I first saw him. Something tells me it's not going to be that easy. You thought he was sleeping. Sounds plausible, but... What made you think he was asleep? That was a hasty cover, yeah. Well, he had his head and arms up on the table as if he were taking a nap. Oh, and one other thing. There was that note, too. A note? Which one? Ah, he must be talking about this. Resting. Do not disturb. Appears to have been written by the victim. Allow me to read it. Resting. Do not disturb. Yes, that's the note I saw. After reading that, who wouldn't think Shisho was napping? That's a pretty reasonable assumption. You've got to be kidding me. Thought to have been written by the victim before his death. Okay. That's right. I saw this note, so that's why I thought Shisho was asleep. I want to change my testimony to include that statement. Alright, I'll run an update. How do you sit like that for such a long time and not have your legs get sore? I was at an event this week and I was sitting on my leg for about 20 minutes and it hurt like hell afterwards. Also, my elbow is really acting up today. The pain has been really bad. I really hope it's just a tendon pull and not something worse. When I opened the door, I thought he was sleeping. But something seemed off, so I rushed over to him. I was shocked to find him dead. I couldn't believe my eyes. Why was he angry here? Oops.
Got it!
Uendo, I noticed something funny in your emotions again. Funny, you say? I guess an entertainer of my caliber can make people laugh, even with my emotions. I didn't mean that kind of funny. Quite the opposite, actually. When you entered the dressing room, I see that you suddenly felt anger. What I want to know is, what made you feel angry all of a sudden? What? Let's see. Oh, yeah, now I remember. Shut up, Tornado. It's crazy how many parallels they make between Soba and Rakugo. Yeah. It's a bit harder for someone who doesn't have complete mastery of the, understanding of the culture to put them together. But I guess they do try to spell it out as much as they can. As I was going in, I whacked my little piggy on something. You live there, so yeah, exactly. Makes more sense to you now. So I take it you moved there at some point. Given the way you said that. As I was going in, I whacked my little piggy on something. Correct. Ah, cool. I was annoyed at my own clumsiness. Wait, you mean you stubbed your pinky toe? Just a little bump on my piggy. No big deal. Live in Tokyo. Wow. It's embarrassing, really. Sounds more like he's hiding something. I better dig a bit deeper. No need to be... No need to be embarrassed, Uendo, but I'm afraid it's something we do need to look into. What, if you don't mind me asking, what, like, influenced you to move there, to move to Japan? Was it for work, or personal preference, career? I don't really see anything you could have stubbed your toe on. In the area around the dressing room door in this picture. Work and you also just like it there. Huh. I think that's as good of a reason as any. But maybe there was something there at the time. Wanda, what exactly did you stub your toe on?
Objection.
And what an irrelevant question. You dishonor the soul of the victim with these unnecessary delays. You tell her. Really, who doesn't stub their toe every once in a while? Have you ever had soba before? No, I don't think so. I have had udon. I've had udon and ramen. I don't think I've ever had soba noodles. You really gotta fuss over every small detail like this? Well, the thing is... Even the most subtle of fluctuations in a person's psyche can clue us into the truth. That's why it's important to get to the bottom of this question. Plus, if I back down now, who knows what new insults Simon will hurl my way? Hurl my way? Is there really no trace left of what Uendo stubbed his toe on by the door? What in the world might have been there then, but is not there now? What did Uendo stub his toe on? Could it be the foot? It's like bent to... No, that doesn't look like it moved too far. I'm gonna be honest, because of the... Oh, God, no, I can't... Oh, wait, I can't pull up the history. I'm gonna be honest, because of the conversation I was having, I kind of, like, just glazed through some of this dialogue as I was reading it. I was going in, I whacked my piggy toe on something. I was annoyed at my own clumsiness. Just a little bump. Look, he's hiding something. You need to be embarrassed. Stubbed your... in the area on the dressing room door. Maybe there was something there at the time. What exactly did you stub your toe on? Maybe it was this, because he was going to look in at the table.
Take that!
I'm wrong, aren't I? Nope. No, I am wrong. Uendo, is this what you stubbed your toe on? Oh, I could never stub my toe on that. That would really be starting things out on the wrong foot. Right, Mr. Golden Ager? Golden Ager? Don't you dare send me off to the retirement home yet, Sonny. Anyway, I hope Miss Sykes didn't stub her toes on her teeth as her foot entered her mouth. Ooh, that sounds painful. Well, Defense, are you ready to let it go and move on now? Of course not. What Uendo stubbed his little toe on is a vitally important question, I think. Is there really no trace left of what Uendo stubbed his toe on by the door? What in the world might have been there then, but is not there now? The TV. Soba has more of a starchy wheat taste. It's pretty good, though. Sometimes I prefer it to ramen. See, I would like to try it, but, like, starchy wheat taste to me sounds like something I dislike. Because, like, when I make, because I make, like, instant mac and cheese every week, because it's kind of like my comfort food. Usually eat it, like, when I'm home on Saturdays. And there was a point where I was cooking it, and it was getting super starchy, because I wasn't cooking it in enough water, or wasn't boiling it in enough water, and I did not like how that tasted, because it, like, removed any, like, cheese taste from the mac and cheese. But then again, that's also because I boiled it, because I made it wrong, so... Maybe I just have to try soba, see if I like it. Ramen's more Chinese-style noodles. Soba's a kind of Japanese style of ramen, if you want to think of it like that. Not super starchy, just a subtle flavor. I went to a Korean hot pot place last week, K-Pot. I had ramen there. They do have udon. I'm not sure if they have soba. They have verjamali. It's really thin pasta noodles. I guess it is technically pasta. It's you know K-Pot. Oh, okay. I don't think they had soba, though. No. It was just udon and, ramen. Angel hair. I am completely checked out here. Something that wasn't there... Wait a minute. Huh? What a funny way to die. No, I don't need a hint. Something that was there but is there no longer. Fuck. That was there but is there no longer. What? What's on the TV? I mean, it's unplugged. But... Maybe it is the TV because there's the note. No, Merc, you weren't doing anything wrong. We were just saying don't other people don't give hints. So this is a TV. Okay, it is a TV. I knew it was unplugged, but like that's not near the door. Please take a good look at this photo of the crime scene. Do you see it? This long track that goes from the door all the way across the... Oh! No, I didn't see that. Okay. The TV was moved across the flower on the floor. Now that you mention it, I do see traces of something getting dragged. How did I ever figure that out when I played this before? And the drag mark ends there at the TV. This implies that the TV was originally by the door. I'm convinced that the TV is the object the witness stubbed his toe on. Well, Uendo, how about it? Yes, you're right, it was the TV. Easy to miss, yeah. Here, the noise level dropped again. Yes, I stubbed my pinky toe on the TV. But what of it? Why is that so important to you? So the noise went down, but it hasn't completely disappeared yet. Which means he's still hiding something. Okay, let's try this tactic then. Uendo, why was the TV moved there? Shisho must have moved it so we could watch my routine. But what a place to put it, right in the middle of the doorway like that. I didn't want to bump into it again, so I put it back where it belonged. Performances on stage can be viewed in the dressing room using that TV? That's right, it's a closed-circuit monitor that shows the stage. LOL. Easy to miss. Feel more to stub the big toe. I see. Now what? I can't find anything else out of place. I still haven't gotten the noise level down to 0 yet. Simon, I'm still getting noise here, but I don't see anything else fishy. This is precisely why amateurs are such a bother. Sorry. I'm in no mood to play nursemaid here, but if that's what it takes to save the soba shop. Hoi, Uendo. There's a curiosity for you. Here's a curiosity for you. This table Master Tornado was slumped over. Looks like it was moved. Did you happen to bump into it while you were moving the TV back? Oh my, yes, you're right. The TV hit the table and Shisho's body moved with a jolt. That's when I first realized that Shisho was dead. Oh, but how scared I was. I see. Thank you. We're finally getting a more precise picture of how the body was discovered. But I'd wager you need to put the spurs on a window just a trifle longer. Well, right. Can't keep asking Simon to bail me out like this. It's time for me to regain my footing and really stand on my own. Uendo, what you said just now about discovering your master's death, could you please describe all of that again for the court in detail? All right. Before you do, let me just plug in this latest information. Need more Athena games? I hope she gets a bigger role in the next game. Especially considering how this game ends, I definitely think they can make more room for her in the next game. Bang! I tried to enter the dressing room, but stubbed my toe on the TV. When I put the TV back in its normal spot, I realized that Shisho was dead. Seeing him slumped over like that cluttered table, Oh, Shisho. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That makes sense. Would he still be shocked at this point here, or would he just be sad?
Got it!
That's odd. After the initial shock of finding the victim dead, you reacted with surprise again. What was it that surprised you, Uendo, besides your master's death? What do you mean? What's more, you're even more surprised the second time than the first. What could have surprised you more than finding your late master? Search me. Your little thingy must have made a mistake.
Silence!
The girl is as sharp as a trout, to be sure. But her ability to hear people's emotions is absolute. Now get to remembering, Uendo. What was it that surprised you? That was a compliment, right? Well, Uh-oh. No, we pushed him too hard, and now he's mentally all over the place. His emotions are completely out of control. Out of control? Care to explain how that's relevant? You know how normally I listen for hidden emotions in a witness's voice, right? Witness's voice. From there, I look for inconsistencies between their testimony and those emotions. But sometimes a person's feelings can run too high, making it hard to get proper readings. So that's how your Matrix program works. Fascinating. Ordinarily, it's just one emotion that runs out of control. But it seems there's nothing ordinary about this time. Anger. Oh, everyone's different. I knew it. What's got your knickers all in a bunch now? Uendo has multiple emotions running out of control at the same time. Never seen anything like this, ever. So how does one bring a situation like this back under control? I'll have to find the root cause of this tangled mess before I can treat him. I can identify what's causing this emotional rampage, and I can probe to dive in further. I'll need to point to what I think is the root cause and hit probe again. Through this process, I can identify exactly what's causing Uendo so much distress. And that will help bring his emotions back under control. In that case, let's get started, shall we? Alright, I can't guarantee success, but it's definitely worth a shot. Gotta look for the root cause of Uendo's rampaging emotions. I am like stumbling all over my own mouth tonight. I get it now. The cards were the root of it all. Don't try to deny it. You can't hide your feelings from me. This is a very card-centric year for me, huh? I played Rechain of Memories. I'm playing Vampire Crawlers. And now this case is bringing up cards, too. You can't hide your feelings from me. The dying message that was left at the scene of the crime is what was causing your distress. And if the dying message was the cause of all those feelings, and that means the phrase Owen Forth must mean something to you. What's your favorite case in this game? I mean the next one, the last main one, is really good. But also the previous case was really good. Cases 3 and 5 are both amazing. There, noise level 0, finally. Actually partial to case 2. I do like case 2. Here's the thing, I don't outright hate any Ace Attorney cases. Bad Ace Attorney is still Ace Attorney to me. But I definitely think 3 and 5, which arguably are the most, main plot-driven cases in this game, to me have the most hit the hardest. Trucy's case is good, though. Mr. Rias is a great villain. I will say that. He's a very good villain with a good motivation for what he's doing. The dying message consists of 2 words, Owen and Forth. But neither of these 2 words have anything to do with this witness. This topic warrants no further argument. Sure, there may not seem to be any direct connection between Uendo and the message, for now, but why don't you wait and decide what's necessary after you hear my theory? Bro was discount Robert Downey Jr. He went to Burger Barn. I want to go to Burger Barn. Jervis, crush my balls, please. I trust you've hit upon something, Athena. Yep, if my theory's right, you could finally solve the case of Uendo and the mysterious Owen Fourth. No, mysterious was 2 cases ago. Well, go on then. I can already tell this promises to be interesting. Now, please share your theory with the court, Miss Sykes. There was something puzzling to me about Uendo's out-of-control emotions just now. Namely, that there were 3 distinct reactions present. I'd never seen that before, and I wondered how it could be possible. Is there a conclusion to this meandering musing of yours? Hold your horses, I'm getting there. So could a person flip between 3 distinct emotions of such intensity like a switch? In the end, I concluded that just wasn't possible. So that's it, is it? A bit unconventional, but I'll grant that it's possible within the realm of psychology. Within the realm of psychology? I'm afraid you'll have to explain it for the old man up here on the bench. Your Honor, my theory is that Uendo is a robot, has supernatural powers, has multiple personalities. That's not how this works. With so many distinct personas, it's clear to me that Uendo has dissociative identity disorder. What does that even mean? Your Honor, the defense would treat this trial as a child's jest. Multiple personality disorder. A preposterous proposition, indeed. I know so many fucking plural people now that if you said someone had DID, I would just be like, yeah, that tracks. At the same time, every piece of media that represents it gets it fucking wrong. Would you not agree, witness? How did she know? How did she figure it out? Oh, my mouse is... Whew. The idea is way more common, but it's never properly represented, yeah. I can't believe it. I did it. I did it, Simon. I've read papers on it before, but to think I'd see a case of it for myself. Blimey, Rakugo artists tell stories as different characters, but as different personalities? How, you know, that doesn't work like that. Sometimes people make up other versions of themselves to hide their true selves when why know who's not safe for someone's close to it. But that's the thing, that's a conscious decision someone's making. DID is usually an uncontrollable development, usually due to trauma. And again, there's always exceptions, but typically that's not something you just do. Yeah. Hey, you, lawyer girl. You got a problem with us, huh? No problem at all. This is all very hard to believe, but now that we've established that witness has multiple personalities, could each of them please introduce themselves to this court? Yeah, you can't just choose to switch personalities. Though let me tell you, I know people who seem to have an alarming amount of control over who fronts in their minds. Like it's less I don't know. I don't know how it works, and it's very interesting to me, but like it's not something that I'm really qualified to talk on. I just know that most media generally gets it wrong. Like this is absolutely getting it wrong. Could each of them please introduce themselves to this court? Uendo Tornado. I'm a Rakugo storyteller, as you know. Hello, everybody. Patches, the friendly jester here. Kisegawa, courtesan. And is that all of you? Yes, that's all of us. So there are 3 personalities in total. Uendo, Patches, and Kisegawa, huh? Choked on my own words there. Well, Simon, what do you think now? You're one lucky duck. Just be glad they were dense enough to help you out. Can't you just straight up say I did a great for a change? You appear to be quite proud of your self-defense, but all you have done is infringe upon the privacy of the witness. Couldn't disagree more, prosecutor. Now that we know that there are 3 personalities, a new way for us to interpret the meaning of a certain piece of evidence has arisen. A new interpretation? Oh, now I'm very curious. What is this piece of evidence you're talking about, Miss Sykes? Knowing what we know about Uendo and his personalities, this now makes perfect sense.
Take that!
The Karuta cards. That's right, Your Honor. Recall the original dying message left at the scene. We didn't have a clue as to what Owen Forth could have possibly meant. But now with this new information about Uendo and his personalities, isn't it possible that Owen Forth actually means a secret fourth personalities of Uendo's? A personality named Owen? What? Polkunka! Uendo must have kept his Uendo must have kept his DID from us because he didn't want to be associated in any way with that dying message. No, that's not why. We kept our disorder a secret for a different reason altogether. We've been taking advantage of our affliction to act out various Rakugo characters. If word of this got out, well, our reputation as an Rakugo artist would be tarnished, as with a Tornado name. That's why we kept it a secret from everyone except the members of the Tornado School. But really, there's no fourth personality, it's just the three of us in here. A plausible enough sounding story, but it doesn't prove you didn't rearrange the cards, does it? Wait. But it doesn't prove you didn't rearrange the cards, does it? But I will concede that it is highly unlikely that the witness rearranged the cards. Is Prosecutor Sadmahi actually agreeing with us? However, it's also not possible. Is it not also possible that the accused killed Master Tornado? And then left that message in order to frame the witness. And upon noticing the cards when he found the victim's body, Uendo rearranged them.
Silence!
A fantastic tale, but a tale nonetheless. No one outside the Tornado School knew about Uendo's multiple personalities. Uendo just finished saying so himself. Ah, that is true, but ultimately meaningless point. The witness was only in the dressing room for 2 to 3 minutes. Ugh. That's far too little time to commit murder, wouldn't you say?
Objection!
And who's to say he couldn't have done it before his discovery?
Objection!
Ah, that spring chick memory of yours. Have you already forgotten Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony? Simon's testimony? Oh. That's right, until just a few moments before Uendo entered the dressing room, Taifu Tornado was still confirmed to be alive. Ah! No! Not only that, but Uendo was on stage until just before he discovered the body. A bulletproof alibi that I've already confirmed with several audience members. Oh no! I also heard that his Rakugo performance of that day was a steaming pile of... Well, you get the picture. Yes, I'm afraid so. Really stunk up the stage, I did. And yet, I have a perfect alibi. Indeed. Why not lend the coup de grace on the defense by describing your alibi, witness? Okie dokie smoky. Witness testimony. Uendo's alibi. His alibi. I was on stage until just moments before I went into the dressing room. The entire audience was my witness. My performance was a huge bust. Not a single soul laughed. I'll never be able to live down how terribly I bombed during that very important show. Uendo was on stage before he found the body, so he could not have committed the crime. Is it not time to let it all go defense, and move on? Blech. Well, get this, Prosecutor Sadmahi. The Wright Anything Agency never gives up. We fight to the bitter end. Feh. Allow me to say this once more. Let it go and move on. And allow me to say this once more. I'm never giving up. Unstoppable force meets an immovable object. Let it go and never! This is pointless. You should have taken advantage of this opportunity while you could, you foolish child. Your worthless convictions only serve to prolong the accused's suffering. If words will not sway you, then perhaps pain will. Oh no, anything but this. Ah! How does it do that, though? What's the big idea, Prosecutor Sadmahi? That was but a small dose of the punishment for your misguided convictions. Are you now a bit more inclined to give up as instructed? As if. Yeah, assault in the courtroom doesn't make someone want to give up. And it just makes you look more desperate. In that case, you must require another dose. Not bloody likely. I don't give two flips about your beliefs. But if Sykes Dona were to submit to you here, I won't be able to eat good soba anymore. That's right. For Mr. Wet's future and Prosecutor Blackwell's stomach, I will never give up. You will rue those words, defense. Of that, I can assure you. He looks so pushy.
Hold it!
How could we be sure it was you who was on that stage? Are you asking whether it could have been some imposter? I guess so. Unlike a big arena, a Rakugo theater is a cozy little place. It would be hard to fool an audience in such an intimate setting, don't you think? Yeah, I guess you're right. Good, I'm glad we could clear that up. But I guess you could say. The entire audience was my witness.
Hold it!
Was there anything special about the stage or your performance that you can tell me? For example, were the lights dimmer than usual? Were there any problems or accidents? Not a thing. Everything was the same as always. Mr. Prosecutor, you questioned the audience, didn't you? Yes, of course. Apparently nothing seemed amiss to them except, well, one small thing. One small thing? Oh, it's so embarrassing! I tried my best, really, I did. But my performance was a huge bust. Not a single soul laughed.
Hold it!
Do you have any idea what went wrong? I'm not sure if it was my performance or if it was just that particular audience. Or maybe it was the story I picked. But every entertainer knows that this kind of thing happens from time to time. I guess that makes sense. Still, I wonder how he could have flopped at his own commemorative show. Maybe I should dig into things a bit more. What Uendo performed? Could you tell me which Rakugo story you performed? I could, but I'm not sure if it would mean anything to the uninitiated. Oof. Well, even if I might not get it, can't you at least try me? Alright, if you insist. The story performed is called Toki Soba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Time Soba, huh? Maybe Uendo's right. He's only said the name of the routine and I'm already lost. Ah, so you performed Time Soba, did you? What, you know it, Prosecutor Sadmahi? In the course of my studies last night, I became familiar with a number of stories. I must say, defense, you would do well to prepare better for your next trial. Simon, what's Time Soba about? Look it up yourself. Allow me to give an overview. The story takes place on a winter's night. A man orders a bowl of soba at a street stall. How you doing, sir? What can I get for ya? I see you've got... Wait, what? Oh, he's talking automatically. Oops. How you doing, sir? What can I get for you? I see you've got seaweed-topped Hanamaki soba and mixed-topping Shippoku soba. I'll have a bowl of Shippoku, my good man. It sure is cold tonight, isn't it? But there's nothing like a hot bowl of noodles and soup to warm the soul. You know it, sir. One Shippoku coming right up. So how's business? Not so great, sir. Is that so? Well, that's great, because things can only get better from here, right? Well, prosecutor. The customer talks on and on like this. Finally, when he's done eating, he goes to pay for his soba. So how much do I owe you? That'll be 16 mon, sir. I see. Sorry, but I only have a small change on me. I'll count the coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. Oh, this is the thing that the tornado was performing at the beginning before he was killed. I see. Sorry, but I only have small change on me. I'll count the coins on into your palm. So could you hold out your hand for me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey, what time is it? It's 9, sir. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Thanks, and bye. Very well, Prosecutor Sadmahi. That was excellently done. Huh? I don't get it. What's so funny about that? Don't you see, the customer paid with coins, counting them out one by one. Then just after counting 8, he asked about the time, and the soba vendor answered with 9. Oh, now I get it. He made the vendor say 9, and then he continued counting from 10. Exactly. He cheated the soba vendor out of 1 mon with his smooth talking. Story continues with another man who saw the whole thing and tries to do the same, but he bungles the trick and ends up paying more than 16 mon for his soba. The story ends on that as the punchline. You can look up the rest of the details yourself. Or I'm sure Prosecutor Sadmonk over there would love to perform it for you after court. So basically, it's a story about a man cheating on his soba bill. It's kind of petty, isn't it? Is that really all you have to say about this classic story? Time soba is such a well-known staple of Rakugo that the skill of the artist is critical in a... Fine, you studied a lot. We haven't the time for a lecture detour right now, Prosecutor Sadmonk. Oh, I wanted to hear a little more, but I suppose it is off topic. Getting back to the matter at hand, Miss Sykes, the witness stated that the story I performed is called Toki Soba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Would you like to add this statement to his testimony? Yes. Yes, Your Honor, I'd like to have it added. Very well. The story I performed is called Toki Soba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Uendo was to do his soba glutton routine, and finally Master Tornado was to perform his Time Soba routine, so he wasn't supposed to do Time Soba.
Objection!
Thus, therein lies the mystery. Uendo, wasn't there something odd about the routine you performed? Odd? No, I don't think there's anything odd about it. That's exactly what I find odd, the fact that you don't think it's odd.
Objection!
Sorry, I'm trying to... Seismic Toads, thank you for the follow. Sorry for you to follow on such a silent moment for me. I had a message I had to look at. Sorry. We were discussing the witness's alibi at the moment, defense. The show's program isn't completely irrelevant. First time you catch me on stream? Nice. That's where you're wrong, Prosecutor Sadmahi. Follow me on Blue Sky. Oh, are you the Seismitoad artist? I love your stuff. That's where you're wrong, Prosecutor Sadmahi. The reason being, it contradicts the statement the witness just made. Uendo, do you know what this is? Seismitoad is my favorite Gen 5 Pokemon. I think. There's a lot of Pokemon in Gen 5. I think it's my favorite. Uendo, do you know what this is? No? What is it? This is an invitation to the show, sent from Master Tornado to Prosecutor Blackwell. Included in the invitation is a rundown of the show's program, which clearly states that Time Soba was to be performed by Master Tornado himself. No. Yeah, no problem. Your art's really good. Here's hoping the Seismitoad propaganda starts working off as time goes on. Scoliped's been getting way too much attention. Seismitoad is pretty great too. I do like Scolipede though. Uendo, why did you perform the routine your master was scheduled to do? Well, you see, the reason for that is... How do I say this? You see, let's say it was a prank. That's right, it was just a little joke, you see. He was trying to surprise Shisho by performing his routine before he did. Nah, that doesn't make sense. I don't know if I buy that. Was doing the victim's routine really just for laughs, or... Hey, didn't Simon happen to hear Time Soba coming from the dressing room? During Uendo's performance on stage? It seemed like too much of a coincidence. Wait, can it be? What's the matter? You look like a hen with a dozen eggs to lay. Hey! In the stream, once we rate every Pokemon for your favorite, back to the drawing board. I've done a I wanted to do a Smash or Pass before on Pokemon, but that trend is like long over. Maybe I'll still do it just for the hell of it. But Lugia and Charizard too, great fat furs, but we need more appreciation for the chonky frog. Yes. Stop comparing me to birds, especially that big fat one in the corner there. Actually, that's perfect for a screenshot for the thumbnail. Then cease this bird brain timidity. Awesome model, thank you. It was by Kokori Cow. If something has occurred to you, then let it out for us already. And spell it out lay it on for us. That's the only reason I don't like using this, I can't see behind it. Don't bring resentment in those watching your performance. Okay, yeah, I took screenshots of both of those lines. I don't have a ton of confidence in this theory, but here goes. It looks like Uendo's alibi checks out, Your Honor, but even though he was on stage at the time, he may have been trying to obfuscate a crucial detail about this case. Are you referring to the Soba bill the man tried to skimp out on in the witness's story? Not talking about the Rakugo story, Your Honor. Oh, I'm sorry, but then what are you talking about, Miss Sykes? What Uendo may have been trying to do to deceive us about was the cause of the victim's death, the time of the victim's death, what the victim was to perform. I actually don't know. I might just take the loss on this so I can get my health back. How many custom models do I have? This is my default right now. This is what I look like normally, even though this is still quite a bit bigger than I normally am portrayed. This is by Xavier, formerly on Twitter, but now I think he's mostly on Blue Sky. He also drew this one for me, where I have a really big head. This was like these were like the first two I really wanted. And then my friend Karma the Ink Fox drew a bunch of models for me to use, some of which I don't even have on here anymore because of the limit on PNG Tuber Plus. So I have Bird Kisser. This was actually like the first one, like the first normal PNG Tuber I had. Karma made this for me. I have a Moogle. A Miltank. It's my favorite Gen 2 Pokemon. Probably my favorite Pokemon General. You remember the Heartless one, yeah. Heartless is the next one I was going to pull up. The Human one, which I use for Ace Attorney, or any visual novel. And then for last year, for Thanksgiving, for April Fool's Day, I had a Hamtaro PNG Tuber. Not last year, 2 years ago, but I still kept it. And then I have the big one. I also have one that I used, I could probably load it, actually. I have the one that I used during April Fool's this year, which was... whoa, what is wrong with my mouse? Okay. This one, which is a Yinglet. It's just a really fat-looking Yinglet. This was done by El Panzas Benny Malong. I'm actually going to move this one into the normal rotation at some point. I just have to pick a form to remove. These are so cute. Thank you. Yingle Bingle. I should have streamed Yinglet Creator, too, while I had this form. Maybe I'll do that at some other point. I had a guest streamer that drew this PNG Tuber. This is Chester, the deer. Actually, was it a deer hybrid? There's like a deuce, yeah. Deer moose. Chester drew that himself. And what else do I have? I have this. Karma drew this for me like a long time ago. This was a frog. A little too big though. I don't use it that much anymore. And I think that's everything I have loaded into the program right now. I might have a different form in the full ones. Come from my lurking to ogle the cutie. Hey, Endori. Cute. Wow. The thing is, the full 9 model PNG tubers take a while to load, and I have a few of those. I have no fucking clue. By performing Time Soba... Oh, sorry, this thing's blocking the screen. Okay, what forms does this have? This might be the one that I'm... Oh, Chow. That's new. I took that one off. Human's still there. Also, this can hold 10 forms, but the 10th form is like the transition poof that I use that Xavier made for me, along with the other two. What was the original PNG tuber full? Hold on. There's something there that I was using too that's not there anymore. By performing Time Soba, a story that featured soba noodles, Wonder tried to fool us into thinking the victim had been drowned in soba broth. Come on, not even a jester like me thinks the cops would be fooled by such a silly trick. Besides, the story originally was going to do Soba Glutton also featured soba. Oh, right. I knew that. I just wanted to see if you knew that I knew. Miss Sykes, who's the one trying to deceive the court again? That's enough. I see no need to further prolong this trial. The defense's case is insufficient to overturn the prosecution's claims. This court finds the defendant Bucky Wet guilty. Okay, these are pretty awesome, not gonna lie. Wait, let me just see. What was the one's form that was different? Nothing. What? Okay. So what's PNG Tuber Fold 3 then? Wasn't that the one I was using? Gonna go now since it's quite late here. Yeah, same. It's about 3:30 where I am. Hopefully I could catch you on stream another time. You too. I hope I could, I want to commission you at some point. Because your stuff is really good. But, thank you so much for coming and for following. I'll be sure to keep in touch. Okay, wait. What's this model use? Huh. There's, like, no difference between this and the first full model. Okay, whatever. Something's going on with my mouse. It's, like, not working right. Something's interfering with it. Okay. See ya. Have a good night. Thank you. Looks like a Windows alibi checks out your on. Okay. Alright, we went way off course. So, cause of victim's death is not it. Time of the victim's death is what the victim was to perform. Time of the victim's death, I guess? The window tried to deceive us about the time of the victim's death. What? Eek! What gibberish. Prosecutor Blackwell even testified to the time of the victim's death. I know. But he only testified that way because he and Geiru had been completely taken in. You mean by the Soba building? Would you please forget about the story for a second, Your Honor? I was deceived. Pray tell, how did Uendo manage to deceive 2 people while he was performing on stage? That's easy. All I had to do was use a certain prop in the dressing room. Oh, and what might that be? The prop Uendo used was... the TV, right? Because he was broadcasting his performance into into his room.
Take that!
This TV was used to view what was happening on the stage. Prosecutor Blackwell, when you came to the dressing room, what was Uendo doing? He was performing Time Soba. Blast, could it be? Yes, it could, and it was. What you and Geiru heard was not Master Tornado practicing his routine. It was Uendo's performance as heard through this TV monitor's speakers. What? With the TV just inside the inner door of the dressing room, it could easily be heard from the hallway outside. And because we knew the Master Tornado was scheduled to perform Time Soba, we were easily manipulated into thinking he was still alive at the time, rehearsing. Yes, your knowledge of the day's program is why the 2 of you could be fooled this way. Simon, did the voice you hear belong to Master Tornado? With the doors in the way, I couldn't tell exactly who the voice belonged to. But because I heard time Soba, I just assumed it to be Master Tornado. I can't believe I was taken in by such a simple mind game.
Objection.
All of that is mere conjecture. Where's your proof, defense?
Objection!
Uendo moved the TV back when he discovered the body. After all, he couldn't very well leave it by the door. Because then someone might figure out that the trick he'd been playing. And there's one more thing about Uendo's actions that's suspicious. And that is... the fact that he flopped so badly on such an important occasion. Well, important occasion, whoa. What's so suspicious about that? Even pros slip up once in a while, you know? But I believe that this time it was intentional. Because Uendo knew it would be strange to hear laughter coming from the dressing room. Oh my! Yipes! It's all just a bit too perfect to be sheer coincidence. Plus, if the voice prosecutor Blackwell and Geiru heard was due to Uendo's scheming, the victim's time of death could have been way earlier than 4 p.m. In other words, Uendo could have killed Master Tornado himself. We've got you by the stones now, Uendo, so you'd better confess to everything. Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? We demand an explanation. Uendo? Uendon? I confess. I tampered with the crime scene. Is the defense's claim about that? Is the defense's claim that Uendo Tornado was the true murderer in this case? If he tampered with the crime scene, then we at least have to consider him a suspect. Hold it. Now wait just 1 minute. Yes, I admit to messing with the dressing room, but I didn't kill Shisho. Then why did you tamper with the crime scene? I refuse to answer that question. What? If you suspect this witness, then I have a question for you. What could it be this time? Uendo had absolutely no reason to murder Taifu Tornado. What the... Oh! There's like a piece of garbage in my mouse. I was wondering why it was like reacting so weird. I think it's okay now. Yeah. Also, my cord's a little messed up, so it's like moving slightly when I move it. I don't have a lot of room here. Uendo had absolutely no reason to murder Taifu Tornado. After all, why would Uendo kill the man who recognized his skills and promoted him? Oh, well, his motive was, can't think of a single thing. It appears you were also not aware of the other fact. And that fact is... that the accused visited the dressing room before 4 p.m. as well. Is it not natural, then, to suppose that the accused killed the victim at the time? What? Nobody told Mr. Wet had also gone there before 4 p.m. We were only discussing the time frame after 4 p.m., so I didn't think to mention it. But now that you have made the time period before 4 p.m. relevant... Uh-oh, I don't like where this is going. So you really do not know what your client was doing during that time frame, do you? Well, it was all very sudden, and, why did you wait until the very last second to contact me, Simon? Don't you give me that look. And just so you know, Bucky never told me he visited the Master before 4 p.m. either. Ugh, this sort of thing is exactly why the prosecutor keeps calling us unprepared. The defense will stop squabbling this incident. Sorry, Your Honor. Prosecutor Sadmahi, please continue. Thank you, Your Honor. Lip. Defense, you know of the soba making implements in the dressing room, correct? Is he talking about the equipment for making soba noodles? You speak of the large bowl that is used to mix buckwheat flour and water. The long rolling pin and the special knife that is used to cut the dough into noodles. Soba. Hey, Soft, how you doing? Precisely. These tools all came from the accused soba shop. You mean they didn't belong to Master Tornado? Mr. Wet had visited the dressing room to give the victim a soba-making lesson. And that visit was before 4 p.m. I don't know why I was half Blackwell there. I'm afraid that the accused needed the dough and made those noodles. After the accused made the dough and needed the dough and made those noodles. He committed the act of murder. But wait, that doesn't add up. Mr. Wet killed the victim before 4 p.m. Why would he return to that room at a later time? Wet soba, you're kit and caboodle when it comes to noodles. Chilled soba, 680. Oh my. Oh no, he's hot? No, he's drunk. That's not a burn on his face. Hiya, Miss Chickadee. Hey, Simey. The reason I went back is because Master Tornado ordered uncooked noodles. But Mr. Wet... Yesterday, I brought noodle-making tools to the dressing room at around 2 p.m. Dashed with Master Tornado and ordered uncooked soba noodles to stock up on. Uncooked noodles to stock up on? Yeah, ma'am, Master Tornado kept a supply of soba noodles from my shop in his fridge. He only had one serving left, so I went back to my shop to get some more. One serving of noodles in the fridge. I thought the fridge was practically empty. Anyway, the whereabouts of the missing noodles isn't all that important right now. You ran into me and Gabriel when you came back to deliver the uncooked soba, correct? That's right, Simey. I made time out of my busy day to deliver him the noodles. And you know what? He ignored me when I called him from the inner doorway. He just kept mumbling Rakugo lines for ages, so I got mad and went back to my soba shop. Ah, so that's why you got mad. What he's saying is true, then there's no way he could be the murderer. I swear I'm telling the truth, Miss Chicken... Bailiff, quick, get this man to the infirmary. Just let me a well-rounded individual. He's just my shape, I mean type. I don't know, he's a little... I can see the appeal, but there's something about him that's like not my taste, up to my tastes. Well, I dare say he's quite the handful. Your Honor, please accept the statements Mr. Wet just made now into evidence.
Objection!
I believe the accused's statement about going to the room around 2 p.m. is true, for it falls within the victim's estimated time of death. That opens the possibility that the crime was committed between 2 and 4 p.m. That's some critical information. Yes, Your Honor. But other than that one point, Mr. Wet's statements are dubious and without proof.
Objection!
But they are the words of the defendant himself. Simon, back me up here. He has a point. If I were the prosecutor, I wouldn't accept them either. I'll understand the defense's feelings on the matter. This court is unable to accept anything other than the time the defendant made the visit. Now what do I do? I trust you have no further objections, defense. At last, the time has come for me to send the soul of the victim onward to the twilight realm. Misread that awfully. What are you all yammering on about, Prosecutor Sadmo? We still have something we need to question Uendo about. We do? Like what? Well, don't just stand there. But we don't have any evidence left to present. Have you forgotten already? Isn't there still a hidden witness you have yet to question? A hidden witness? Oh, that's right! Your Honor, there's still one more issue we haven't finished discussing yet. Oh, and what is this bit of unfinished business? We haven't finished discussing this issue related to Uendo. Owen. We still have to discuss the possibility of a fourth personality, the one named Owen. Are you suggesting that this fourth personality of Uendo's might be the true culprit? Geez, not that again. Told you, we don't know anything about this Owen. Look, Uendo, I know you don't have any motive to kill your master, but... this Owen may have one for all we know. Come clean now, Uendo. You've got another personality stashed away, haven't you? Please tell us everything you know about Owen. That's enough. The witness has already stated that he knows not of any Owen character. Bravo, you tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Hey, Patches. If you claim you don't know Owen when you really do, that's tantamount to perjury. If you want to exercise your right to remain silent, however, well, that's a different story. Do not listen to the depraved prosecutor witness, who will be tainted with his evil. I miss the clang noise when he does that. Do you have any idea how dark and cold a prison cell is? I exercise my right to remain silent. What's this now? Changing horses in midstream, are you? Shut up. I will remain silent, and that's it. Patches, you fools. You stay out of this. Patches is not the brightest bulb in that box you call a noggin, is he? The fact that he switched from I don't know any Owen to I will remain silent is proof that he does know about Owen. There it is again. Simon's formidable psychological manipulation tactic. I'm sure he's glad he's on my side today.
Objection!
You dirty, despicable, depraved prosecutor. You were leading the witness. Witness, there is no need for you to submit yourself to the defense's questioning.
Objection!
Your Honor, Uendo is definitely hiding something. Please allow me to question this witness about the existence of Owen. I suppose only this witness could confirm or deny the existence of Owen for us. Very well, I will allow the defense to proceed. Polakunka. About Owen. I've never met any personality named Owen. Patches was just blurting out nonsense in a panic. We're always aware, so we definitely noticed if a personality like that would show up. How dare you treat me like a criminal based on mere conjecture? Wow, how am I supposed to deal with the testimony of 3 personalities at once? Unless you could prove the existence of Owen here, it's all over. Best screw your courage to the sticking place and tack their testimony head on. Alright, I will. Stop piling the pressure on me. Have to draw out some info. Anything to drag Owen out in the open. I don't think I'm doing this in one night. If there's a to be continued, I might stop, and if there's a time, I'll do some VC. Ah!
Hold it!
Generally, maybe using that emotion reading necklace you have all the time. Well, it stopped working because Uendo having multiple personalities was just fucking it up completely. Met, huh? Is that how you experience each other? Like people meeting on the street? Well, it's more like all 3 of us are always here. And the personality that's most suited to the moment is the one that comes out. So when you're out, Uendo, what are the other 2 doing? Well, we never know when our turn will come, right? So we stand by and listen. So that means all 3 of you share the same memories. I never really thought about it, but I guess that's right. I see. Thank you. Please continue.
Hold it!
That is accurate to DID. Generally, you don't have separate memories unless you're like blacking out. From what I've seen people have, it's like you generally will still be able to remember what you were doing. Hey, Razu, how you doing? There's a to be continued, okay. Patches, can I have a word with you, please? Why, hello, you rang? You said at first that you didn't know anybody named Owen, but then you exercised your right to remain silent. Were you afraid of committing perjury? Well, you see... I'll take over from here if you don't mind. Listen. So that White Castle onion just came up. I hate to say it, but Patches is about as smart as a sack of rocks. If you grill him with a bunch of highfalutin words, he's going to want to keep silent. Good, just got off work? Nice. I see. So looking after loose-tongued Patches is your role, is it, Miss Kisegawa? Well, I don't know about that, but anyway, I do know that Patches was just flustered, and that's why he decided to remain silent. But what if for some reason you three were unconscious at the time of the incident? If the three of you weren't alert and aware, what would happen? What would happen? I'm not even sure what you mean. I mean, you three share the same memories, right? But what if Owen is different? What if he has memories separate from yours? Maybe Owen emerges when the three of you are unaware or unconscious.
Objection!
Instead of speaking as if this fourth personality is a foregone conclusion. I suggest you prove his existence first. Well, we've already seen 3 personalities. A fourth wouldn't be a stretch. You dishonor the victim in this court by jumping to such conclusions without proof. Have you ever heard these old sayings, Prosecutor Sadmahi? What happens twice will happen thrice. If you see one, there are likely 30 in your home. I'm basing my theory on such premises. Comparing us to cockroaches. Do we bug you that much, girlie? But how do you intend to prove it? How will you prove that all 3 personalities became unconscious, as you say? Unless you could do that, all this talk is merely empty speculation. Well, Don't be so timid. If you don't have it, then find it. Look for something that could render Uendo and the others unconscious. Simon's right. Can't back down now. My client, Mr. Wet, I have to... Wait, Mr. Wet? Mr. Wet falling unconscious. Wait a minute, I think I've got it! Miss Sykes, do you have proof to back up your theory? Yes, Your Honor, I do. The proof is right here in this crime photo. It is? In that case, please point out what supports your theory. This most likely is what caused Uendo to lose consciousness. The camel.
Take that!
This is probably what made Uendo lose consciousness. Ah, yes, the sake. And isn't it just like Master Tornado to pick a fine brand like Camel? Sake? Oh, you mean rice wine? Hold it. Oh, please, don't call it rice wine. That's so unsophisticated. It's not even wine. Silly girl. I must agree, you need to become more cultured, Athena. Tomato, tomato. If it's made of rice and people get drunk from drinking it, right? Simon's like, fuck you. It's called sake. End of story. Fine, sake it is then. Hi, caramba, everybody's so touchy about these things. I recall Master Tornado would often have a drink or two before performing. He said it made him more eloquent. Drinking too much of the stuff can make one lose consciousness, though, of course. I think I've only ever had sake once, and it was hot sake, and I didn't like it. I'm not really an alcohol guy in general, though, so it's not really the sake's fault. It's mostly just me not liking alcohol. And look, there are 2 glasses on the table. Uendo, I believe your master offered you some sake. And then you must have drank too much and passed out. That's when your 4th personality, Owen, emerged. I drank sake. Oh, that's a good one. We have a real sweet tooth, you see, so yes, we did accept a sugary red bean bun. But since we really dislike sake, we said no thank you to that. Believe it or not, we're real weak when it comes to booze. Even a tiny drop can knock us right out. So you see, I had a sweet manju bun, but didn't drink any sake. What? But that can't be right. The defense demands that the glasses be examined right away. You amateur, did you really think I had not already done so? Your foolishness is beyond the pale. Don't tell me. There was no trace of the witness having touched either of the glasses, naturally. Right, of course. Miss Sykes, would you like this witness's statement added to this testimony? Yes, please, Your Honor. Very well. I had a sweet manju bun, but I didn't drink any sake. Interesting that those sweet manju buns seem to have the exact same camel as the label on the alcohol.
Objection! Hold it!
So if you had even a tiny sip of sake, you'd conk right out, huh? That's why you didn't touch the glass Master Tornado offered, correct? Yes, that's right. Then maybe you ate something that had sake in it as an ingredient? I don't recall doing anything like that. He doesn't recall doing it, but that doesn't necessarily mean he didn't. He just might not have known that he did. Better take another good look at the evidence. So he didn't drink any sake, huh? Oh boy, now we're in trouble. That kind of answer is exactly why Sadmonk keeps insulting you. Now use your head. There are countless ways Uendo could have gotten sake into his mouth besides drinking it. Well, I don't know about the countless part, but nothing. Give it some thought and you'll figure it out. So the witness must have had something that contained sake. Is there anything like that in the court record that hints at something like that? Well, it wasn't this. Interesting. This piece of paper also has the camel thing on it, and it's probably ripped open from that box. Yeah, because there's a wrapping paper on it.
Objection!
Okay, it was the note. This shows most likely what made Uendo lose consciousness. That note, or are you feeling lightheaded, child, or perhaps a bit peckish? I'm not hungry and my head feels just fine, thank you very much. Look at the paper this note is written on. Is there something familiar about it? What exactly is your point, Defense? This faint design here reminds me of the paper from... Yep, it's the piece of the wrapping paper on the box of manju buns by the victim on the floor. Uendo, you may not have drunk any sake, but you did eat a sweet red bun, right? Well, yes, that's right. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, Uendo, but I believe the manju you ate caused you to fall unconscious. The bean bun? But how? Because those buns contained a secret ingredient. A very punchy secret ingredient at that. A punchy secret ingredient? Yes. The design of the wrapping paper matches that of something else in the room. It does? The design of this object matches that of the manju box's wrapping paper.
Take that!
The camel pattern. It's the same one for the camel brand sake. So, just as Uendo said, he didn't drink any sake per se. But he did eat some. Impossible. Uendo had a camel brand red bean bun, which boasts a nice shot of sake as one of its ingredients. So the defense is claiming that Uendo passed out after consuming a camel sweet bun, which allowed a fourth personality named Owen to emerge. Is that correct? Yes, Your Honor. That's exactly what I'm claiming. But there's one thing that bothers me. Wouldn't the alcoholic contents of the buns evaporate as they are steamed? In order to give them a stronger flavor, some manju are specifically made to retain as much of their alcohol content as possible. What kind of lightweight do you think I am? I've had rum cake before, and let me tell you, there's a lot of rum in some of those rum cakes. I've also had chocolate that had alcohol in it. Wasn't very good. What kind of lightweight do you think I am? Even I wouldn't pass out from eating a simple manju. Yeah, but we test that theory. What do you say, Your Honor? Seeing is believing, as they say. Very well, I will allow a test. Sake manju is definitely a thing. I kind of want to try that now. Good to know, sounds delicious. Simon, go buy some camel manju on the double. And don't forget to get me one too, okay? Why must I? And while you're at it, Prosecutor Blackwell, you will get one for me as well. I'm not the courthouse stable boy, you know. But just this once, I'll acquiesce. Taka, I'm counting on you. And all of you had better pay me back. Oh, but I thought it would be your treat, Prosecutor Blackwell. What a shame. Bird. Now then, let us adjourn until the manju arrive by Carrier Hawk. Court will reconvene as soon as Taka returns. Okay, that's a to be continued. Bird. I thought I was way closer to the end of this case than I am, so I'm gonna stop, because I'm not gonna get through the rest of this tonight. No! Shit. The one time I fucked that up. Bird up. Bop, bop, bop. Bop, bop, bop. Thanks for stream. I am gonna go for another, like, 10-15 minutes, because I'm gonna do a run of, vampire crawlers real quick. But yeah, I will, I'll do the rest of this case. We'll see. If it's another 2 hours, maybe not tomorrow. Maybe what I'll do is, tomorrow might be Tomodachi and vampire crawlers again. And then, Wednesday, I may do, like, the rest of this and then start case 5 if there's time. We'll see. Again, I really wanted to do this in one night, but I think another 2 hours of this is probably... It's too much right now, because it's almost 4 a.m. But yeah, that's where we are. This is the cute belly bird. Well, here's the cuter belly bird. Anyway, I'm gonna load up vampire crawlers real quick, so don't go anywhere, because I will be right back.
And